Hey up, I do. Before we get into anything, I suppose I should address the elephant in the room. Look at me! You might know, or you might not. I drew this ages ago, but I had absolutely no experience with rigging or anything proper VTuber really, so I had to download Live 2D Cubism and learn an entire new skill. Spent hours, days, weeks, months, honestly, painstakingly trying to rig this thing until eventually, after all that time, I finally gave up and paid someone to do it. I worked with the Lionel studio on Etsy. They were absolutely amazing and I'm so happy. I will say, if the movement looks awkward in any way, it's not the rigging, it's my really awkward placement of my webcam and me forgetting to look at my webcam and instead looking at my computer screen as if that is the webcam and you're seeing me through that. So it's a learning process, it's a work in progress. Anyway, if my voice would like to grace us at any point, let's hang out with Sino again. Oh, and I have C2 Baijin now, I'm pleased to announce. Still no sign of Chi-Chi. Still no sign of Chi-Chi anywhere. For me, I mean, Fire has Chi-Chi again. So, you know the worst thing is that during Windtrace, I was relentlessly pursued by a Chi-Chi at one point. And like, that felt so deliberately mean. It wasn't. We didn't know each other. We were just completely random to each other, but just being relentlessly pursued by a Chi-Chi. So if only that could happen any other time. You know? Like during the wishing, perhaps? Why can't you relentlessly come here then? I just want a Chi-Chi. Everybody is like, oh my god, another Chi-Chi, another Chi-Chi. Fire's gonna have C6 Chi-Chi before I even have C0. I have been playing this game for so long at this point. Why have I never seen Chi-Chi? I feel like the only person left who wants Chi-Chi. Anyway, this isn't about that. I'm fine. Oh my god, I need to get my fan. It is ridiculously hot. It isn't. It's 14 degrees and it's raining outside, but I'm a wuss when it comes to temperature. It's not my fault, my body doesn't regulate temperature. Okay, that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. I'm not weak. Fibro people don't regulate body temperature. It's difficult.
Justice is blindsided.
I cannot believe you will just sneak up on me like that. Okay, if you can hear a noise, tough. I need it. It'd be great, you know, if I could do that thing where your body goes, oh, you're running a bit hot. Let me deal with that, but oh well.
Wow, the academia sure is busy during the day. But where should we go looking for people that we know?
Traveler, Paimon.
There's a people we know.
Sino! It's been so long since we last saw you!
You look like you've been keeping well.
As do you. You don't seem weary at all from your travels. If anything, you seem stronger. So, what brings you back here?
Oh, nothing in particular. Paimon just saw a really big mushroom out on the road the other day and suddenly missed all our friends in Sumeru.
Oh, that's so cute.
Funnily enough, we were reminiscing about you recently too. It was at a group dinner. I look forward to hearing about your travels. Something tells me we must have a lot to catch up on.
I love that they have group dinners.
Really? You were thinking of us too? What a coincidence!
Indeed. Or as I call it, the biryani factor.
Okay, go on.
You really want me to say the rest? Okay. It's always rice to meet stew again.
Oh, darn, he said it.
I swear to God, I want to know what the original joke was because I swear to God, Sayu says that like all the time. I win the bet, Paimon. Time to pay up.
You like that one, huh? You must if you remember it after all this time. Admit the truth. You have long been in awe of my razor-sharp wit.
Oh, did he say that initially?
Alright, here's your 500 Mora.
I don't remember that far back. Thanks, Sido. Feels good to hit the jackpot.
You're exaggerating. It's only 500 Mora.
Hey, 500 Mora is still a lot of snacks to Paimon.
Is it just me, or does Sino
All
seem a
right.
bit off?
I'll treat you to some desserts later. Anyway, I'm actually investigating a case right now.
Oh, that's why.
My mind is focused on work, which is why I didn't complete the joke at first.
Yeah, I can tell he's seeming a bit off, Sino.
Case? What happened?
Nothing major. But after finding out who was involved, I decided, on reflection, to handle this one myself.
Need any help? We only came here to hang out, so we've got the time. You may as well take us with you, and then when you're done, we can, you know.
Such enthusiasm. Are you worried I'll forget about treating you to some sweets if you're not around to remind me?
What? No! Alright, was it really that obvious?
Obvious enough. Still, it's a fine idea. You are the heroes of Sumeru. It makes perfect sense to work together. All right, follow me.
Hurry up. It's better. It's better.
Do you see him? The old man flailing around?
Oh, is he the one you wanted to talk to about the case?
Correct. His name is Cyrus, a former Spontamod sage. He taught both me and Lisa.
Is Cyrus?
Sino's teacher is in trouble?
It's ridiculous. I'm just an old man who enjoys a spot of gardening, shopping, and wine. What sort of person targets an old retiree?
Professor, I've brought some friends.
That is one hell of a voice, honestly. Why does he sound like someone?
Now, who do we have here?
Why does he sound like someone?
Hold on, let me think. A flying fairy dressed in white? A youth who does not seem to hail from this land? My goodness. You must be the legendary traveler in Paimon. I've heard all about what you've done for Sumeru.
Who are you?
Wow, looks like we're really famous.
Oh, you know this by now,
I've told him
Paimon.
about you before. You are my friends, after all.
Good to meet you, sir. We're here to help Sino.
That's right. Let me summarize the situation.
It's legitimately so exciting to
A couple of
meet
days
him.
ago, Professor Cyrus suddenly received a threat letter.
A threat letter?
Oh my god.
Exactly. Who sends a threat letter to an old man like me, for goodness sake?
This is the letter in question.
Okay.
Cyrus, I have uncovered your secret. If you wish to prevent it from going public, leave 10 million Mora at the back door of the cafe. Secondly, don't come looking for me. You'll never find me. But I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. Finally, if you dare to report this to the Matra, there will be consequences. Wow, they sure didn't mince their words.
Clearly, this person must be desperate for Mora.
10 million more. What a joke. I'm just a single retiree with nothing to my name beyond the tomatoes in my garden. Where do people think I'm hiding 10 million more, huh? In my tomatoes?
There were no witnesses, so currently the letter is all we've got. So, Traveler, Paimon, let's put our heads together.
Ready when you are.
Paimon's ready too.
I'm so
Alright, take a
excited
look.
already.
Do you see anything suspicious?
Do we know that symbol? I mean, that could be on the loading screen itself every single day and I wouldn't remember it, but I don't know. Is there anything, I forget what you said? Suspicious? Curious? Other words, sendiness? From Sino's description, it sounds like the threat letter didn't come in an envelope, it was simply written on a crude piece of paper and left for Cyrus to find. Oh, I suppose that is suspicious. The paper?
Very good. The paper has a rather rough texture. It's not the typical kind you see in most books.
Another thing is, some of these strokes look kind of blurry. Could there be an issue with the ink?
Possibly. And I bet the paper has something to do with it.
Most of the paper around here is much smoother than this.
Paimon, that's so
and the ink
clever
is
of you.
absorbed quickly so it doesn't run.
Go grab your
This paper,
nose and
meanwhile,
glasses.
it's very coarse-grained. Almost as if it's made from some sort of plant matter.
It's certainly not the same paper as we use in the academia. But the ink is nothing special. Just regular black ink that gets a blue tinge when applied to paper.
So do we think the culprit has a connection with the academia or not? Wait, check this out! Looks like this part got wet at some point.
Agreed. The staining suggests it was a colored liquid, not plain water. It also looks like it was wiped off with a damp cloth.
A colored liquid, so... tea? Wine?
Looks like we're thinking along similar lines. Let's go talk to Aroth. There are some things I'll need him to take care of.
Swear to God, I know that voice though. I'm gonna have to find out somehow. Someone on Twitter will know.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I've forgotten all of the buttons again.
Arav. Ah, there he is.
Hello?
Mahamatra Sino. Sir Cyrus. Ah, and the Traveler and Paimon. It's been a while.
I hope I'm not expected to remember anybody because I won't.
As such, I'm inclined to believe that the culprit in this case is a student at the academia. Somebody young and strapped for cash. Oh, one last thing. I'd start your investigation by taking a look at the cafes in the city.
Oh, of course! You think the culprit spilled their coffee on the ladder, huh?
They do look like coffee stains to me. Also,
I
if
did
I'm
not
mistaken,
notice.
the letter is written on a type of scented paper that has aromatics added during the manufacturing process. The kind often provided as writing material for customers in cafes and taverns.
Ah, of course. Yes, like they sell in the gift shops. I remember now. Zaha Hadi bought some a while back. She said she was going to use it as wrapping paper for a vase.
Understood. I'll assemble a team to investigate the points of interest immediately.
You have my gratitude.
One last thing. Send some Matra to guard the entrances and exits of Sumeru City. And change into plain clothes. Don't let them see you coming.
Will do.
Great thinking, Sino. So, where do we think the culprit's at right now?
Do I try to figure this out myself, or is it going to be another one of those things where we don't actually have all the information ourselves to figure it out, and someone else will figure it out, and I'm just wasting energy trying to figure it out? I doubt they'd go back to the cafe.
Yeah, they've probably been lying low at home waiting to see how Cyrus reacts.
You're right, Paimon.
Really? Which part?
The culprit's approach. Whatever happens, they need this Mora. But just because they warned Professor Cyrus not to go to the Matra, doesn't mean they know what he'll do next. So, like you said, they need to wait and see. And crucially, the culprit said they'd be watching the Professor's every move.
Is the culprit in the room with
Wait,
us right
are you
now?
saying-
Found you!
You better be like
What are you doing?
really certain,
You wrote
Sino.
the threat letter.
It's
I-
Sino, of course he
I
is.
don't know what you're talking about. What threat letter?
I sensed someone was watching us from the shadows the moment we entered the House of Dana. You managed to stay relatively well hidden for someone reckless enough to threaten Professor Cyrus.
Sino, you know I have the utmost faith in you, but he was kind of just standing there. Like, if he's been that good, I would never question you. I'm just saying that he was kind of just standing there out in the open. That was kind of stupid of him if he was indeed this like mastermind. Oh my god, is that what are they gonna have Sino be wrong about something?
There are a lot of people here, but we were looking specifically for Arav. Whoever followed us the whole way was likely to be the culprit.
Or maybe
I was just listening in, that's all. You know something big's going down when Mahamatra Sino shows up, right? So I got a little curious. What's the big deal?
You smiled when Arav left. I saw it as clear as day.
maybe he is right. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry for questioning you, Sino.
Is smiling a crime now?
There are coffee stains on the letter. You mixed some coffee with water, gently smeared it onto the paper, then wiped it off with a wet cloth. All to create the impression that the letter was written at a cafe. Closing
my
off the
God.
exits to the city doesn't affect you, because you already live here. And as long as the Matra were focused on the cafes, you would be free from scrutiny. The cafe was a red herring all along. You had to be somewhere where you could monitor the professor's movements.
You can't pin this on me. I haven't done anything.
Okay, yeah,
Really?
you are acting suspicious
Then why
now.
are you shaking like a leaf? The innocent have no reason to fear the Matra. But you...
Can I just say that Sino's always been an amazing character, and Sayu has always been an amazing voice actor. But this is exceptional.
Your heart's racing, and your eyelids are twitching. You're a terrible liar.
I would never...
Don't try anything or you'll pay the price. Now come with me.
Again, the actor's acting, but like, that was...
That was over quickly. Sino already caught the guy.
Like, that was even more than I'm used to, is what I'm saying.
You're telling me. One minute I go out for a quick smoke, the next minute I see Arav already on his way back to meet up with Sino.
No, but there's no way that it's over this quickly, otherwise this is going to be a really shit story quest.
Looked like a young guy, too. Couldn't have been much more than 30. But after what he's done, I'm afraid he's ruined his whole future.
Everyone, it's all over.
Is it
That was so
though?
fast.
Is
The
it?
culprit's name is Uraka, a 16-year-old student in the Ratao's Darshan.
Huh?
16? Cyrus thought he looked 30-something.
We checked his records. He's 16, a third-year student.
But he looks so old.
Interesting.
Yeah, seriously.
Foolish child. He's too young for the criminal life. What the devil drove him down this path?
We questioned the culprit regarding his motives. He,
Oh, just spit it out. Nothing can surprise me at this point.
very well. It's our understanding that Araka is a mediocre student who has been underperforming in his classes. He started taking extra tutoring to improve his grades, but developed a gambling habit around the same time and lost a lot of mora. Down on his luck, he went to the tavern for a drink and overheard some people chatting about Sir Cyrus's comfortable retirement. They mentioned that he's always arguing about his tomato plants with some old woman on the street.
Some old woman on the street? Goodness gracious. Has that rascal attended a single one of his classes? That old woman is Kasharwar's very own professor, Zaha Hadi. How can he not know who Zaha Hadi is?
Is this going somewhere?
Oh, right, yes. So another thing. We don't just argue about tomato plants. And what are they trying to insinuate by comfortable retirement? A man grows a few vegetables and suddenly he's living a life of luxury?
You're having a
Maybe it's more the
strong
fact that you have
reaction
the
to
time to
this.
grow vegetables in the first place.
Araka mentioned he'd heard a rumor, alleging that Sir Cyrus illegally obtained a large sum of money from the desert before retiring, and kept it for himself instead of reporting it to the academia. Araka believes this money to be the reason why Sir Cyrus hasn't kept up with any academic research or other projects since his retirement. And given your advanced age, he thought you'd be an easy target to blackmail.
Oh, Araka. I'm at a loss for words. I'm so angry I don't know where to start.
People make up rumors all the time. I am quite confident that Professor Cyrus has never embezzled a mora in his life.
Arav, you'll have to find some excuse to interrogate Araka again later. I need you to deliver a few firm fistfuls to him on my behalf.
I completely understand how you feel, Sir Cyrus, but I'm afraid that course of action goes against the Matra's principles.
Professor, there's no need to be childish about this.
Oh, come on. I was clearly joking.
Were you?
Okay. Where does this go from here?
So Cyrus is
The
being
academia will determine the appropriate
suspicious.
disciplinary action against the student. And as for the individuals spreading rumors about the professor's obsession with tomatoes and some old woman on the street, there could be a slander case here. The Matra will continue to investigate.
Who said I'm obsessed with some old woman on the street? Mind your wording or you'll start a whole new rumor.
That's
You
not
seem
what anybody
confused.
said.
Oh, don't you understand? Uraka is just a young boy who made a very rash and very stupid decision based on some groundless rumor he heard. Besides, I didn't actually hand over any Mora to him. The whole thing sounds a lot worse than it is.
Okay,
All
so
it
he
costs
definitely
is a
stole
little
that money then.
reputational damage. That's all.
Please rest assured, Professor, that the academia will issue a fair and reasonable punishment.
He definitely stole that
Yes,
Mora
I
from
have
the
no
desert.
doubt about that. But as a former educator, I'd still like to have a serious conversation with the boy's parents. Their family lives in the city, yes?
Correct.
We looked into the family. Both parents are merchants, and they're often away on business. They've never taken much of an active role in their children's lives.
Oh, what a mess. You don't have to seal the evidence away yet, do you? I'd like to have that letter back for the time being, if possible. I need something concrete for when I talk to the family tonight. We have to show them how serious this situation is.
The relevant authorities have already reviewed the evidence and are now discussing Araka's punishment. You can hold on to the letter for now. Just make sure to return it within a couple of days.
Oh, so you'll be able to close the case in 2 days?
Give or take. Cases like this are quick to resolve.
Very good. Well, thank you for all your help. Perhaps we can all go for a meal together. Oh, my treat, of course.
My apologies, Sir Cyrus, but I have a prior commitment. Enjoy the meal, everyone.
Thank you.
Ah, I see. Well, that's a pity. But Sino, you have to come. You found the culprit at record speed, and I owe you for that. Ah, and isn't Tainari in town at the moment? Bring him along, too.
Wait, you mean Tainari's in the city?
He is. Tainari's master, Sir Nephis, called him and Kale to the academia to help out on a project.
Aww,
They should be at Nephis's office at this hour.
Kale's helping with
Though
the
I must say,
academia
I'm
stuff.
surprised you're extending an invitation to Tainari. Did you do something to offend Sir Nephis?
Don't be outrageous. Nephis offends me all the time. It's never the other way around. Anyway, hurry up and fetch Tainari. I'll head over to the tavern with the Traveler and Paimon. See you there. Go on now. Don't keep us waiting.
Everything he says feels suspicious now at this point. Okay, so a guy who looks way older than he is, some kind of reverse fountain of youth thing going on there, sent a threatening letter to Cyrus all about how he knows what he did last summer. And Cyrus allegedly found some more and then didn't alert the academia like he was supposed to. And something about an old professor person and some tomatoes. Yeah, I have nothing except suspicion for Cyrus, and I'm so sorry to say that, Sino. Oh god, that's gonna... If Cyrus is up to something dodgy, poor Sino is gonna be so upset. Hi, Victor! Sorry, I need to have a chat to Victor for a second. Oh, he's such a good boy. Are you settling into life in Smo? No, but I'll just have to learn to get used to it. I was stationed here after all, so complaining won't do me any good. I really don't know how Mr. I don't know. Today so enthusiastic about his work. Do you want to go back to Mondstadt? No, of course not. I may not have gotten acclimated to Samara just yet, but I'd much rather be here than in the cathedral getting dirty looks from sisters all the time. Still, I wonder how that kid Lily is doing. Why don't I bring her a letter for you? You'd do that? Forget it, but it's fine, really. I'm a Fatu, so I shouldn't be sending letters to that child. Who knows what sort of trouble that could stir up. Oh, you should, though. Oh, look at him, he's so sad. Oh.
How did it come to this?
Oh. Sweetheart. I want nothing but good things for him in the future. He's my favourite Fatus. He's such a good boy. He makes little, like, wooden things for kids and stuff. He's so sweet. One day I will stop attacking the door and just go in.
Not to brag, but we never had problems like this at Ratawa Hiss back when I was still teaching. And if you don't want to take my word for it, you can ask them. They were students at the time. They'll tell you what it was like, won't they?
I was out in the forest at least 4 days a week back then, thanks to a colossal workload from Master. It wrought havoc on my poor tail, so I didn't exactly keep up to date with what was going on at the Academia. Most of what I know, I heard from Sino after the fact.
Professor's become a lot more laid back in his retirement. He used to be far stricter, and was especially known for being extremely principled.
Wow. It's hard enough to stay true to your principles as a normal person. I can't imagine doing that as a sage.
It's a pity Kale wasn't around at the time. I would have happily taken her on as a student.
No.
And then we'd have one more person who has to address Lisa as upper-class woman.
Really? Can't you just call her Lisa? She seems to prefer it when people treat her like an older sister.
Oh, believe me, back when she was a student, nothing made her happier than the younger students acknowledging her seniority.
Whoa, more food? Are you sure about this? We don't want to take advantage.
No, he's got plenty of more that he stole
Don't
from the
worry
desert.
about
It's
it.
fine.
Order whatever you like. And if it's not enough, order some more. After all your help today, treating you to dinner is the least I can do.
He's not even being subtle about
I heard
it.
some familiar voices. Ah, and Sir Cyrus is here as well.
Oh, Kave, it's been a while. Zahahadi was talking about you last month. How have you been?
Coffee!
I've been all right, thank you. You're looking very well, sir. I'm glad to see it.
Have you eaten yet? Care to join us?
Come sit with us.
That's awfully kind of you, but I had a late lunch, so I'm not really hungry just yet. I'll have dinner a little bit later tonight.
Come sit with
I
us
just came
anyway.
to Lombard's to buy some wine, and when I heard some voices I recognized, I thought I'd come and say hello. So what's the occasion, anyway? Some sort of celebration?
Consolation, more like. You wouldn't believe the day I've had.
Sounds like things have really gone downhill since I was there. My whole time as a student, I've never heard of anything remotely like that.
I will remember the
I can't
toggles
believe
one
how
day.
young the guy is. What are his parents going to think?
Young people are always more susceptible to making rash and ill-advised decisions. Their minds are still developing. It's just an unfortunate fact of life.
We're just missing one
Still,
person to
this
make this
boy has
amazing
some
now.
nerve. Just look at what he wrote. Oh, it makes my blood boil.
Wow, yeah. Jeez.
I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. And then he just followed you into the house of Dana?
Weird, isn't it, Cully? Like, why would he be so bold?
Oh, he'd get the scolding of a lifetime. Oh.
Luckily, I'm also an extremely principled person.
Kave! Your order's ready, sir!
Coming. I'll have to get going. Have a nice evening, everyone. I'll catch you all another time.
You'd better.
Okay, bye-bye!
You'd better be in this more,
Here I
Carvey.
am. The coffee beans are in here too.
Yep, it's all there. I'll stop babbling away now. Let's eat before the food gets cold.
That was weirdly, like, focused in on. Luckily, it's still hot is a phrase you will never hear me say. I know they're talking about the food and not anything else, but still. I cannot stand heat, which is awful because cold is very painful. Yeah, that was a weirdly specific thing to introduce, to like show Carvey getting his coffee beans. Is something going to be wrong with his coffee beans? Am I thinking way too into things? Am I just like desperately wanting the four of them together in this? Because like the one character I was told is definitely in it is Al-Haytham, and so far he's the only one of the four that hasn't shown up yet. Listen, we've had the Knave, we've had Navia. I had to deal with a weirdly written Chiori.
Paimon's belly is about to explode.
I still haven't seen Chi-Chi anywhere. The least I deserve is the even 5. Kole can come. Just all of them having a meal. That's all I want. That's all I want out of this.
Oh, mine too. I'll have to walk home to burn some of it off.
Thanks for dinner, Sir Cyrus. Master Tainari and I will bring you some homemade herbal tea next time. It'll do wonders for your sleep.
Well, I look forward to that. In fact, could I trouble you to bring a little extra for the other old folks on my street? I'll be the envy of the neighborhood.
No problem at all. I'll pack some up and bring it over.
Thanks for treating us with the money you totally stole.
I'll see you all later.
And not even trying to hide
Better
it.
head home now and tend to the crops.
Good night, Professor. Don't let those tomatoes keep you up too late.
Hey, my tomatoes are serious business. I am not about to be beaten by Zaha Hadid. Anyway, I'll be leaving now. Don't stay up too late now, children. I bid you all a good night.
Take care. Have a safe trip home.
All right. Now, we finally have some us time.
What do you mean, us time?
Oh, you're suspicious as well, aren't you,
I
Sino?
was talking with Tainari and Kale, and since we all have some free time, we thought we could all go camping together. Think of it as our way of welcoming you back to Sumeru.
Oh,
Camping? Oh, that sounds fun! Paimon's in!
yeah. Time to show off my tent pitching skills.
Wait, no! That's my job! Don't take it away from me.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Collie.
You and Paimon help out Master or Sino.
We will, we
You
will.
don't have to play the hero when you're out with us. This is your chance to just, you know, laze around and switch off for a bit.
Oh bless, I'm sorry, Collie.
Everyone, let's meet tomorrow afternoon at the riverbank to the southeast of Gandharvaville. No need to bring anything. We've already packed everything for the trip. Just bring your delightful selves and prepare to have some fun.
There's absolutely no chance we're inviting anybody else, is there?
Great. Then we'll see you tomorrow.
That's so wholesome. Oh my god, camping with friends. I mean, that would be my absolute nightmare, is camping with friends.
Makes me laugh every time.
Alright, sorry. What time? 2.
Life, death.
Time to set off! Let's head to the southeast of Gandharvaville and meet up with the others! We're here! Wow, you guys are ahead of the game! You set up the tents already!
Collie did a great job.
I'd say we're right about on schedule, actually. We were aiming to have them set up before you arrived.
Collie, hi!
Traveler, Paimon, let's go fishing together. Whatever we catch, we can grill for dinner tonight.
This is so nice. Can this just be the entire quest?
Dinner's on us tonight!
Oh, this is so precious.
I hope I can contribute too. The
You
other
will.
forest watchers gave me some fishing tips a little while ago. I'm really looking forward to giving them a try.
You're gonna do great, Collie.
I saw some very appetizing mushrooms in the area, so I gathered a few for us. I'll leave them here along with some fresh fruit.
This is so happy. Oh my
Camping
god.
with a forest watcher is the way to go! They think of everything! And even if they don't, they can improvise!
It's so not gonna stay
This is
this
true.
way.
I don't think I've ever had a single rough day in this forest.
Oh, don't say that.
So, how has everything been going for you?
Sino, don't say you've never had a single rough day in the forest, because then you're gonna have a rough day in the forest. Have you never, like, watched anything?
Well, there's been some high points and low points, but we've had some unforgettable experiences along the way.
I see. Oh, in that case, you should try a valberry. I bought some from the market this morning.
A valuable suggestion.
God's sake.
Just don't bury your feelings using food.
Sino.
All I wanted was to recommend something bittersweet.
I have a sudden craving for fruit tea. I'm gonna go fetch some stuff. Bye!
Bye. I thought you wanted to fish with us, Collie.
She sure made a run for it.
She made a run for it.
Unbelievable. She made a run for it.
Sino, your turn.
So Kale chose the path of tactical retreat. Could it be she foresaw what shall soon come to pass?
Oh god, what? What, Sino, what?
My dear friend, you know what I am about to say.
It's Genius Invocation time? Is it?
Excellent! A kindred spirit. A great warrior can sense when a duel is nigh.
Yes!
But it looks like we'll get told off if we start playing now.
Dynamic, go
Let's
away!
enjoy the nature for a while longer.
I want to play TCG with Sino, go away! You fish! You go fish! A bird's chirping away, the soothing sound of running water. This is nice. No agenda, just relax and enjoy myself. Have these guys never... Sometimes foreshadowing is fairly obvious. Relatively obvious, I think.
We got a bite!
Oh my god, reel it in. Somebody else do it, because
I'll
I'm
reel it
crap.
in.
Thanks, I know.
Firewood, spices, snacks, and drinks. Everything's ready. Once Kale gets back, we can light up the fire and start grilling.
Did Kale come back? Did Kale come back? Oh, so Kale came back or it wouldn't be so relaxing. Okay. Just so nice to go camping with friends. I know! This is the best quest yet! It's so happy.
There are 3 tents. Which one do you two want to take?
How about the one on the left?
Whatever Paimon says.
Well, Paimon just thinks the ambiance here is a little better.
True. But it's also the closest to the water. If there are any sleepwalking fungi around tonight, they might stumble into your tent.
Well, that's no good. Take my weapon. You can use it to bar the entrance.
Anyone would think you were sealing the gates to King Deshret's mausoleum.
Excellent. Then this tent will be an impenetrable fortress.
Oh, just take the weapon.
I'm back! How's your appetites? Ready for the barbecue?
Always.
Oh, now you're... Kale, you've been gone for a really long time. What were you doing?
Oh, it smells so good. Paimon's drooling.
Someone sure is desperate to eat. I think it's time to add the seasoning. How do you like your skewers? Well done? Medium? Rare?
Wait, what? Isn't that just for steaks?
Hey, if it works for steak, maybe it works for other things too.
I like my stuff
Medium well for me.
very cooked.
Okay, these are about ready now then. It'll be a few more minutes for anyone who wants theirs well done.
But I like my stuff generally like so cooked that they're a minute away from actual cremation. Aside from toast, that has to be just introduced to the concept of a toaster. And even then that's too much for me. I'm gonna dig in. Everyone wolfs down the delicious food.
Oh, that was so delicious. If Paimon's stomach had space, she'd eat 3 more skewers.
I ate a lot too. Here comes the food coma.
If you're tired, then go rest.
You must be getting sleepy too, Paimon. Why don't you guys head to your tents? Sino and I will clean up.
I'm feeling so well
Tonight
looked
I
after.
show you mercy. Our sacred duel will take place another day.
Oh, it better. We'd better play together before this ends.
Good night.
Night, Kale.
Oh, Paimon's struggling to keep her eyes open.
The stretching animation is so
Oh,
cute, by the
don't
way.
forget this. The staff of the Scarlet Sands.
Oh my god.
Wait, you were actually being serious about that?
That is gorgeous,
It's
isn't
a
it?
very powerful weapon. Try it.
Paimon can't even lift that thing.
Fair enough. You sure you don't want it?
I want it. I'll take it.
Yeah, Paimon's sure. We'll be fine. And even if we do get an uninvited guest in the night, Paimon will be here to take care of the traveler.
Oh. With my, like, dull blade or something. Let's not forget I have my own trusty sword. A divine artifact, slayer of countless fire monsters.
That reminds me of a parting king of invocations. I'll tell you about it tomorrow.
No, you can tell me now,
But right now-
Sino.
It's time to rest. Sleep well and sweet dreams.
Sino, I do care about you and your interests. You'd better tell me tomorrow, or I'm going to be very upset. This camping trip has really relaxed me. I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight, and then it's all going to go to hell tomorrow. And everyone's going to cry. And the peace and tranquility of the forest... slow down! My god!
I think they should all be here.
Carvey!
Traveler? Paimon? Are you in there?
I'll hate
Could you come
them.
outside for a sec?
Look at this.
Nope. Yes.
What the? What's this sword doing here? Is it supposed to keep out intruders?
Evidently.
Huh? Who is it? Oh, what time do you call this?
Those voices, I recognize them. It's not like we've just spoken to
Someone's
Carvey.
gonna take out the sword. Yeah!
I'm going back to sleep.
Oh, hey them, Kave! What are you doing here? It's the middle of the night!
Can't believe they weren't invited to the camping trip.
Sorry to wake you up at this hour of the night, but we've got a situation on our hands.
I mean, listen, I'm sure they'd both absolutely hate. At least, I mean, I know, like, desert exploration is one thing. I'm sure, especially I'll hate them. I'm sure the last thing you'd want is to go camping with friends. But like, I just want us all to be together for a bit. What's going on? Is it about the
Let's
coffee?
get dressed and talk about it outside. Something has come up.
The hell was that
Since it
bird
pertains
over
to
there?
Cyrus and Sino, I deemed it essential to inform you all.
Whoa, back up. Let's start from the beginning.
See, I'm in my happy place now. This is all I wanted. I mean, it would have been nice if they could have been leisurely and happy and relaxed, but, you know, any reason to get them all together on screen is good enough for me.
One eternity later.
Huh? Where'd the wine cups go? I could have sworn I left them here after I washed them. Ah, there they are.
I'll have a cup too.
Can you see if the cookies are still on the table?
They are. And so are the fruits.
Oh my god! Look at them getting on together.
Oh, this is so bland. I should have gotten a few bottles of what Sino's group was drinking last night.
Do tell. What were they drinking?
Oh my god, they're having a conversation! Why is this so domestic?
Oh,
Aww!
right, I forgot to mention. So, I ran into Cyrus yesterday evening when I went to the tavern to pick up some things. He was hosting a dinner for Sino, Tighnari, Kale, and the Traveler and Paimon. Anyway, they got a bottle of Lombard's new vintage for the table. At least, I think that's what it was. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, Carvey is very much a table sitter. Carvey, Ikazuchi, there's something about those types of characters that you can just believe will sit on absolutely anything that's not a chair.
Sounds like they're all tangled up in this.
You know what it's about, right? 16-year-old kid tried to extort Cyrus. He was asking for 10 million mora.
I heard some people talking about it on the streets, yes. Didn't take them long to catch the culprit. The sages are probably dealing with the case by now.
I wonder what Sir Nephis and the others will make of it. Oh, Cyrus showed me the extortion letter, too. It was crudely written, but the paper had this beautiful pattern on it that I've never seen before. Really caught my eye. Give me a sec, I'll sketch it out for you.
Oh, look at them working together. All politely and everything. Oh, this makes me so happy.
Okay, done. Take a look. You see what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen writing paper like this around before. God knows where the culprit got it from.
Interesting. These are all motifs associated with the tribes of the desert.
What? Really?
Take this, for instance. Looks like an outline of a spire, similar to the kind found on some ancient palaces. And the crisscrossing and mirroring here, I recognize that too. It bears a striking resemblance to an ancient emblem, one that hasn't been used in a very long time.
Whose emblem is it?
It's the emblem of the Temple of Silence.
Oh my god, it's a Temple of Silence! Ah! Oh my god. I mean, I knew it, but like... Because, I mean, obviously, but like... Ah! Oh, I get the feeling Fire's really going to like this one. Honestly, Sino lore with the 4 Samura boys plus Kole just hanging out nicely and everything. Playing TCG at one point. This is all I ever wanted in a quest.
After discussing it with each other, we both agreed that something didn't feel right, so we went looking for you. This was a long way to come from the city. Alhaitham figured you were probably with Tighnari, so Gandharvaville was our first stop. But the Forest Watchers told us that you'd gone camping. Then, just as we were heading off to the campsite, we ran into Sino. He said he was on a supply run. We exchanged a few words, and then he ran off.
Hold on. So what's the deal with that emblem you were talking about? The Temple of Silence, you said? What is that? Should we be worried?
We should be very excited.
Is everything
Paimon.
okay? Give me a second. Let me get Kale. So you've never heard of the Temple of Silence? Well, to put it simply, it's an organization that has existed in Sumeru for over 1,000 years. These days, you can find a Temple of Silence office in the academia. Theoretically, it's responsible for the custody and disposal of information and documents not fit for public dissemination. At least, that's what they tell the outside world. In truth, it's essentially a vestigial institution nowadays. There's an office with their name on it, but it's functionally obsolete. Historically speaking, the original Temple of Silence is said to have been established by Hermanubis, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret and the greatest of all sages. Most of the organization's members hailed from the desert.
Yes!
By contrast, none of the Academia Temple's current members are from the desert region, nor do they use any symbols connected with the desert folk.
So the Temple of Silence at the Academia is just a fake? Wow.
It's possible. The real question is, why? My guess is they're covering something up.
Alhaitham, I do care about what you're saying, and I am listening. Trust me, I am taking it all on board. But seriously, what is that and why? Like, that's not your clothing. That's just attached to you. I have to know.
So, how do you know all this? Sounds like some pretty top secret stuff.
Because it's
Did you forget?
Alhaitham.
He did a stint as acting Grand Sage, and kept the pay raise even after he resigned.
Oh my god, he's no longer acting Grand Sage. Thank goodness for him.
Oh, yeah! Paimon did totally forget about that. So you took the chance to read all the top secret documents while you were acting Grand Sage, huh?
So who's it now, then?
If you're asking me whether I familiarized myself with the documentation in my office, I would respond that that's a perfectly normal part of any job.
So much about this doesn't make sense. Why did
He
the
was
emblem of the
curious.
Temple of Silence appear on a threat letter from an academia student to Cyrus? The student's only 16, and doesn't have any family ties to the desert. So where could he have seen that emblem, or gotten the paper?
You said you ran into Sino, yes? Did you tell him what you've just told us?
Yep. He ran off as soon as he heard what we said.
Given that Cyrus is involved, he's probably halfway through solving the case by now.
I know.
Still, we should try to catch up with him. At this hour of the night, Sino will probably go looking for Cyrus at his current residence.
Stop trying to do things by yourself,
The
Sino.
Academia's Temple of Silence really does exist just to cover up the truth. The sudden appearance of this emblem can't be good. It's sure to stir up trouble. We should pay a visit to the Academia.
Yes. As the Sage of Amorta, my master ought to know the truth about their office. You can ask him to tell you what he knows. The more information we have, the better prepared we'll be for whatever happens there.
If this situation is connected to the real Temple of Silence, the emblem has to be part of a bigger conspiracy.
Kale, could I trouble you to send a message to the Core of 30? Tell them to keep an eye out for Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, you two come with me. We'll go after Cyno.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
Cyrus has been living in the city lately. He rented a place near the field so he can keep an eye on his tomato plants.
Then let's go look for him there.
Here we are. This is the place.
We might be too late. Looks like nobody's home. Oh, Cyno moves fast. If he was here, he's probably long gone by now.
I know that voice. Is that Tainari I hear?
Ah! Professor Zahahadi!
Okay.
Wow, so it really is you. My goodness, whatever is going on tonight?
We're looking for Cyno. So, he's already been here.
Yes, not long ago, in fact. He knocked on my door and asked if I'd seen Cyrus today at all. I told him the old fool left early this morning, and I hadn't heard him come back. So we went to his place, and would you believe it? He's gone. Goodness knows where to. It must have alarmed Cyno, because he took off in an awful hurry after that. He never did explain what this was all about. How serious is it?
Well, if Cyrus isn't at home... Oh, it sure doesn't sound good.
Professor, did you hear that a student recently tried to extort Cyrus?
Why, yes. When I left the house that day, I noticed he was watering his flowers in the field in complete silence. He had a piece of paper clutched in his hand, and he looked lost in thought. I could tell something was troubling him, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. If Cyno hadn't happened to visit him that day, he'd probably still be holding on to that thing. After seeing the letter, Cyno told him to contact the Core of 30, but Cyrus was very reluctant. He claimed it would only damage his reputation. Eventually, he relented, after much persuasion from Cyno.
Huh? Cyrus didn't want to report it? Well, that's strange. When we saw him, he seemed pretty okay with the idea of the kid getting his just desserts.
As a former sage, it's possible Cyrus still has enemies at the Academia. That's why Cyno was so insistent that he report the matter to the authorities. I was there while they were going back and forth over it.
So Cyrus initially hoped to stop this from going public. But why?
He only reported it because Cyno forced him to, which means Cyrus must know something about the Temple of Silence. Of course he bloody does.
Oh, dear. What on earth has that old fool gotten himself wrapped up in? Oh, I do hope he's not in danger. Oh, I almost forgot. Cyno left me this letter to pass on to you. He wrote it when he came by earlier. He realized you might come looking for him.
Thank you.
What does it say? Let Paimon take a look!
My friends, this is a rather complicated state of affair. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I ask you to understand and accept that I had to act alone at this stage. Don't come after me. I don't know how I feel about that.
My friends, this is a rather complicated state of affair. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I ask you to understand and accept that I had to act alone at this stage. Don't come after me.
Yep, that sounds like Cyno. Thank you, Professor. Please do not worry. We will do all we can to protect both Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, let's head to the Academia and regroup.
I'm getting very tired now. So
Life,
I'm gonna
death, and the world
take a break and come back
around us
later.
all follow a set of laws.
And I know I can just edit and you'd never know, but you would know because
But if you never test the limits, how can anyone know where the boundaries of these laws are?
Because I will forget what we've just done. And you'll think, oh my god, how can you have forgotten because you've just done it? But I won't have just done it because it probably would have been days ago. So they in a sec. Sorry, Sino. I know this is pressing and everything, but like, it's also just the way Alhaitham and Kaveh figured this thing out and were like, right, drop everything, we must go and find Sino right now, right this second, and we know him well enough to know where to look. Like, not because, oh, he's a General Mahamatra and he needs to know this information, but because it's Sino, who's our friend, and he'll be affected by this, and he, you know, he needs to know on a personal level. It's just, I know it's ridiculous to get all, like, excited at friends being friends to each other, but like, oh, it warms my heart. It warms my very soul. It just, all I want is all of them together at the end. That's all I'm asking for. Also, Sino leaving them a note to not go look for him because he knows that they would all go and look for him. Even though, I mean, listen, they're still totally gonna go look for you. I'm so soft for characters who aren't that good at socialising and aren't that good at the whole friends thing. Having friends and being like that kind of important to other people, and just a character like Sino having these soft moments and having these people that he... Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's adorable, and I need I need more. That's all I'm saying. You know how I get about characters who are nice. You know how I got during like Nouvellette and Baiju, be like, oh my god, they're so nice. I don't know what it says about me, but I'm so soft for niceness. I've never liked the sentiment that there has to be like drama and everything between people, between characters, for it to be interesting. Like, it's like people calling Nouvellette and Risley ship boring. It's like, sorry you don't get the appeal of healthy relationships, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it is okay to have people who just have healthy relationships with one another, whether it's romantic or friendship. I don't understand why that's so boring. I don't understand why it's so boring just to have nice things. Oh, also, in the meantime, I realised that when I rig expressions, I can turn other expressions off. So... Hi. Because I did the people changing myself. So, I have normal ones now, and then I can go to wow, diamonds, yeah, and it gets rid of all the pupils, and then I can go to angry, which you can't say. I'm gonna have to redraw this. I didn't realise that the colour didn't blend in that well, but then I added depth to the actual eyeballs, so now you can't really see them. I'm gonna have to brighten those up. And then the confused, yay, which I also think I need to brighten up a little bit, but you get the point. See, I'm sussing it. It's been a whole day, by the way. I've slept since the last half of this video, so I apologise if there are important things I've forgotten. I didn't even attack the door this time. Look at me learning. I spotted someone.
You're here? I thought you were going after... Ah, I guess you lost their trail.
I spotted two someones.
We went to Cyrus's house. No one was there. Sino got there before us, but he was long gone by the time we arrived.
He didn't say where he was going?
No. He left us a letter and told us not to go after him.
So we're gonna go after him, right? Tainari shares what you learned from Zaha Hadid.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Typical Sino.
Oh.
Anyway, some updates on progress on our end. I drew the emblem from memory again, but in more detail this time.
Do you see what I mean? See what I mean? They're both just like, yeah, sounds like Sino. It's like just, I feel so ridiculous just getting excited because like friends know each other, but like friends know each other. You know, Sino does this frustrating thing, and all three of them are like, yeah, typical Sino. Also, Carve, you're so cool. Oh my god. Look at those guidelines and everything. God. Carve, you're so cool.
I checked some ancient texts for a similar design. The one I found was a little blurry, but the similarities in the general form and certain details were clear enough to confirm a match.
You know what's so fun in settings like this is what I say. I know I'm talking so much. But, I mean, what a boring video it would be if it's just me not talking, but then there's just a weird little thing in the corner. No, I lost my train of thought because I interrupted myself. What was I saying? Yeah, something I love about settings like this is when, like, you have these people with very specific, who are very intelligent in very specific and very different areas, all managing to come together to solve a thing with their own things. Do you know what I mean? Like, Alhaitham is the one that would recognise these, like, symbols and everything like that. Carve saw the letter, and he, as an artist, can draw it out, and, like, very accurately, and we wouldn't be able to, like, investigate any of this had he not been able to remember the symbol and draw it out for then Alhaitham to potentially recognise. And it's, do you know what I mean? It's like every, like, intellect sort of coming together and fitting in seamlessly, and I'm having so much fun.
Yeah, and we're lucky we found anything at all. It turns out the emblem was all but lost to history. We scoured the entire Academia collection, and that book was the only one with a record of the motif.
Meanwhile, Arav managed to get Uraka to disclose his source. The one who told him about Cyrus's embezzled funds was a young man from the desert. According to Uraka, he had a striking presence and was well educated.
Apparently, the two met in the tavern over a game of cards. The guy claimed to be in the city for business, as part of a merchant caravan.
That'll be the new
Uraka
character,
was
right?
intrigued when he heard what his new acquaintance had to say, and brought up the idea of extorting Cyrus for Mora. The guy encouraged him to go ahead with it, then handed him some pen and paper to write the letter.
I see. So it could be that this person planted the paper intentionally.
So, how do we find this guy? Did Uraka say where he is?
He doesn't know. He claims not to have seen him since that day in the tavern. The man gave him some tips on how to carry out the extortion, but from then on, Uraka was acting alone.
Nephis and Arav have gone to meet the Core of 30 and review the city's entry and exit records. Also, Nephis admitted that the Temple of Silence in the Academia is just a facade. The true Temple of Silence once came to the rainforest to establish a collaboration with the Academia, but as time went by, the sages gradually became corrupt and foolish. The Temple of Silence felt that they could no longer trust the Academia and ended the partnership. They retreated back to the desert about 400 years ago. Ever since its inception, the Temple of Silence has been the guardians of King Deshret's civilization and belief system. They traveled throughout Sumeru, sequestering and guarding any wisdom that posed a threat to the people's livelihoods. At its roots, it was a legitimate and reputable organization whose purpose was to guide people towards the right path.
The Academia of the day knew that the split would damage their reputation if it became a matter of public knowledge. And so, they set up a dummy organization of their own to conceal the truth.
Sounds like the corrupt
Not only
Academia
that,
to me.
but they managed to keep up the charade for hundreds of years.
So how did Cyrus become acquainted with the true Temple of Silence if they left centuries ago?
I'll bet that's the question that bothered Sino. Probably why he went after him in such a rush.
Whoever is behind this, getting Uraka to extort Cyrus was only the first step of the plan. Their true goal in doing so was for Cyrus to see the emblem on the letter.
He must have recognized it right away. That'll be why he didn't want to involve the authorities. He probably hoped to take care of the whole thing by himself. Unfortunately for him, Sino had other plans.
Since the desert is where the Temple of Silence originated, that is in all likelihood where Cyrus went.
I have to go after him.
Really? Are you sure that's a good idea, with how you respond to the heat? Why don't we send someone else?
Do you see what I mean? It's just friends being friends, but at the same time, it's like they care about each other and they know specifics about each other. And I know that's how friends work, but it's just so soft.
I should be fine, as long as I bring plenty of water. Besides, I just can't shake this ominous feeling that if we don't catch up to them soon...
Everyone, I have news from the Core of 30.
Master!
Oh, so that's Nafis, Tainari's master? Oh, we're finally getting to meet him in person.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Traveler in Paimon.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
Several eyewitnesses have reported seeing Cyrus and Mahamatra Sino leaving the city at different times. Both were heading in the direction of Caravan Rebat.
You have one hell of a voice.
I was going to suggest that you join forces with the Core of 30 in this case. However, as I'm sure you've already heard from Alhaitham and Kaveh, the Temple of Silence is involved. The Academia has made a number of decisions throughout history that I am ashamed to talk about. It may well be that no better choice was available to them, but those actions are nonetheless a stain on our legacy.
I love him.
I won't attempt to make you understand the Academia's perspective. Now is the time for action.
He's so cool.
I understand where you're coming from, Master. But I'm afraid the situation might be more complicated than we thought. I think we need to keep a low profile, or risk making things worse.
Good point. If Cyrus is involved with the other side, or worse, if he's fallen into their hands, and... Everyone, we have to get Cyrus and Sino back safely.
On it.
We cannot afford to lose them.
Oh my god, I love him.
Need our help? Whatever you need, we got you covered.
Really? Wonderful. You have my most sincere gratitude. Arav and I will continue to follow up on the lead from Uraka. Kaveh, Scribe Alhaitham, I'd like to ask you to cover the duties of the House of Dana.
No.
Tainari, you are planning to go into the desert, correct?
I am. Kaveh, I'll be okay.
Oh.
You stay behind to help Master and Alhaitham.
Well, if you're sure... Okay. But be careful.
Thank you all. Arav, let's go.
I wish I had my sparkly heart eyes all finished.
You'd better get moving. Don't forget to ask for help when you need it.
Aww!
Will do. Let's go, Tainari. Hopefully we can catch up with Sino before it's too late.
Knowing him, he's probably covered a fair distance already. But we still have a shot. Let's take it.
They're all being so nice to each other. I know, like, it's so exciting to have Temple of Silence lore and, like, Sino stuff and everything, and I'm so excited to find things out. At the same time, I got the thought of them just being the best of friends. Like, just... Oh, I feel so ridiculous. I feel genuinely so ridiculous, but it's just... They care about each other, and they worry for each other, and they know each other so well. I have like 20 days left of my free trial, by the way, so I really want to just draw a bunch of emotes and everything, expressions, to rig. I also kind of want to animate my pupils. I want them like I want the fire to be moving and want the confused to be like going around in a circle if I can figure that out.
Okay, we made it to Caravan Ribat. Where should we go next? Maybe we should ask the nearby guards if they've seen anything.
Hold on. Look over there.
Oh my god! Dear and Candace?
You sure you want to brave the desert alone? I mean, it's your choice at the end of the day, but still.
It's not my first time. I'll be fine.
So basically we just walked on this integral mission to find Sino. We just walked straight past Sino. He's right there! He wasn't hiding! He was right next to us! Oh my god, I wasn't expecting to see Dear and Candace. Oh my god. I'm so happy!
If you're really going to go through with this, then at least take our advice. When
Sorry.
you're packing for your trip, budget for 5 days more than you plan to spend out there.
Makes sense. Okay, I'll go get ready.
Hi!
Thought we might find you here.
We came after
You're trying
you.
to retrace Cyrus's steps, aren't you?
Didn't I tell you not to come after me? I thought I had a good lead on you.
Sorry, but we never agreed to that. Why would you go off on your own like this?
Oh.
Nothing personal. It's just a complex situation. And I'd rather not involve anyone else if I can help it.
Yeah, well, tough road involved.
Takes a special kind of person to get Sino chasing them all the way out to Caravan Rebot. But why so coy today, huh? You only gave us his age and description. Why can't you reveal his name? Is he Sumeru's most wanted or something? Oh, also, hey guys, it's been a while.
Dia and Candace! So nice to see you. Actually, seeing all of our friends is the whole reason we're here.
You're looking well. Glad to see it.
Thanks. I feel wonderful.
Candace and I came to Caravan Rebot on business. We ran into Sino as he was asking about some elderly gentleman's whereabouts. Some people say they saw him. Guess he stood out as an older guy heading into the desert alone with just a sumpter beast in tow and very few supplies.
I actually have a
That's
cold
gotta
at
be
the
one
moment.
heck of a story there.
Sino, it's okay if you can't tell us anything about the case. But let us know how we can support you.
Oh,
we're here to help however you need.
So cute!
The more people we have working on this, the quicker we'll be able to find the person you seek.
No, it's not that simple. If I'm right, he'll be doing everything he can to avoid us.
Oh gosh, I wasn't expecting Candace and Dear, but this makes this even more fun. Oh, just people caring about each other, it kills me.
We spoke with Zaha Hadid. From what she said, it's pretty clear that he wants to try and solve this on his own. It won't be easy trying to find him in the desert when he's deliberately trying to cover his tracks.
Sounds like this is far more complex than we imagined.
And the fact that Tainari was happy, he was willing to go into the desert, even though he's so bad in the desert, and that could be so dangerous for him, but he still wanted to go for Sino.
Still, if he started from Caravan Rebot, the chances are that his route took him past our village. You may as well ask if anyone there has seen him.
My thanks to you both. Once this is resolved, I will find a way to repay you.
Come on. No need to get all serious. Just buy a round of drinks next time we're all in the city or something.
Yeah, you're all friends, Sino.
That's a deal.
All right. So, you all set?
Yes, we'll handle it from here. Thank you again for your help. I don't take it for granted.
All right. Then we'll leave you to it. Just remember, if you change your mind and need some reinforcements, we'll be here.
And don't think you'd be imposing. You can depend on us.
Oh.
Don't worry, we'll keep him out of trouble.
Oh my god! Is that so sweet?
Sino should count himself lucky that the Traveler and Tainari got here when they did. What was he thinking, trying to play the lone hero?
The desert tests the character of all who enter it, and only those with wisdom and courage shall prevail. But take heart. With his companions by his side, no harm will come to Sino.
This has been absolutely delightful. I want you both to know this.
Hold on. There's a few things I'd like to clear up.
Go on.
So, after you left the campsite, we had a longer talk.
Clearly, we've only scratched the surface of the Temple of Silence question. It doesn't surprise me at all that the one in the Academia is a fake.
Do you have any connection with the Temple of Silence?
I do. I trust you're all aware of the spirit that gives me my power.
We know.
Hermanubis, the original founder of the Temple of Silence.
Oh, I can't believe we're getting into
Due
this.
to
I'm so
my
happy.
Unique constitution, I was put through a number of trials in the desert when I was younger. Later, I met the professor, and he brought me to Sumeru City. But my memory of that time is hazy. I can't recall much. It's a good thing that Kaveh noticed the emblem on the letter. Without that, I don't know if we would have connected the dots and realized there was more to this case than mere extortion.
Kaveh's great.
I did not recognize that symbol at all. Whether that's because I've never seen it, or because my memory fails me, it's hard to say.
Yeah, you're right. Thank goodness for Kaveh, and for Alhaitham's diligence during his time as acting Grand Sage.
But Cyrus must have recognized it right away, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have had any qualms about you reporting it. Oh, maybe his connection to the Temple of Silence goes even deeper than yours.
I suspect so too. Professor has never once mentioned the Temple of Silence in conversation. And whenever the conversation turns to Hermanubis and the concept of spirit indwelling, he avoids going into any depth.
Well, speaking of avoiding things, you do realize, don't you, now that we've caught up with you, you're stuck with us for the rest of the way.
Aww.
I am aware. And I have accepted it. Or rather, I don't see how I could manage to ditch you en route, so I might as well accept that you're coming with me.
Sino, you are legitimately funny. I hope you know that.
That's right. Fact is, we're coming with you whether you like it or not, so the best option now is to try to look out for each other.
Ha! You can't get rid of us. In your face.
Fair enough. Then at least let me buy you a drink once we're back in the city.
Works for me. All right, off we go. Let's start by seeing what the guards here can tell us.
See, even that crystal fly was coming with us.
Mahamatra Sino?
I'm looking for someone, so I'd like to confirm any recent foot traffic in and out of Aru Village.
A man matching that description passed by Aru Village not too long ago. He stopped by to load up on food and water and feed his sumpter beast, then he was on his way.
It's our guy.
Where was he going?
Let me think. He took a seat by the entrance of the village for a while, and had a brief chat with the person who came to deliver the water. He said he was headed somewhere near an oasis, but he didn't mention which one. Do you have a map? I can mark out the direction he was heading and the best routes to any nearby oases.
I have one. Mark away.
Great. There you go.
Thank you so much. You were a great help.
God, I've never played it myself because, like, obviously I refuse to give money to that absolute twat of a person. But I have watched Security Breach playthroughs, and so now just the concept of receiving a map is very traumatic.
You've got a really good memory.
Ah, you're quite welcome. Just doing my job. Best of luck. I hope you find him soon.
Mm.
Hold on. I see some people over there.
Oh, you're the guy.
Do you think it's safe to ask them what they know?
Should be. I'll go.
No. I'll do it.
Oh. Bless.
Huh? Why can't Sino go talk to them? What difference does it make?
Given my background, appearance, and the way I dress, I might not be the most welcome visitor here. Just in case, it's probably better to let a more neutral party handle things.
Ah, hello there. I hope I'm not interrupting. My friend and I are looking for an elderly man who's gone missing around these parts. Any chance I could ask you a couple of questions?
Oh, a missing person, huh? Sure. What do you want to know?
I'm just wondering if you've seen him. Let me give you the details.
That's so suspicious, by the way, Tainari. Careful.
So, a silver-haired guy in a long robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes, and he's traveling alone.
He'd stand out like a sore thumb around here.
Yeah, sounds like the kind of guy we'd remember if we saw him.
Why are we just...
behind me.
Why are we just...
Uh-oh. That guy's looking our way.
Yeah, because he's just standing there. Why did I... Leave! Hi, duck down or something. Dear God.
Your friend over there stands out a lot too.
Which is why, Tainari, which is why you went to talk to them. Why are we just standing there, for God's sake? There's a rock right there we could have hidden behind.
Hey, aren't you Sino, the General Mahamatra?
Yes, that's me.
You don't seem surprised that I recognized you.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, you're the one looking for the old man who's gone missing, aren't you?
I have a bad feeling about this guy.
Yeah, he doesn't like Sino, and I don't know why, but I'm sure I know that.
Someone's on edge. You don't trust me much, do you? No need to hide it. I understand why you're wary of us. Still, you came to us asking for help. Do you want it or not?
I thought you were a group of merchants. Seems I was mistaken.
Yeah, let's leave.
Your henchmen don't look like much, but something tells me they put up a better fight than most mercenaries.
Don't antagonize them, Sino.
Hear that, guys? You're my henchman now.
Suits me, as long as I get paid for it.
Just cut to the chase already. I'm running out of patience.
All right. Come with me. All of you.
Yeah, we're gonna need more information than that. Where are you taking us?
Don't you want to find your friend?
Yeah, but where are you taking us?
Silver-haired, long robe, culture type.
I
with
remember.
black eyes. Sounds like there's a whole other side to Cyrus I didn't know about.
Yeah, but where are you taking us, though? So he's the guy who, like, orchestrated this whole thing.
So you know where he is?
Just follow me. I'll take you to him.
Yeah, I don't trust this. Listen, I am quite into him as a character, but don't trust him. I mean, we don't, but still. Sethos. You can't hide behind your question marks. We know who you are.
And here.
Absolutely not.
Where are you looking? There's nothing here.
Absolutely not.
Please step back.
Whoa, something's coming out of the ground.
Oh my god, it's the symbol! I think.
What is this enormous building doing here?
And how was it so well hidden? King Deshret's technology?
Wait, so... Hold on, who are you guys really?
Temple of Silence.
Is this the Temple of Silence?
Yes!
So you're a member?
All good questions. There'll be plenty of time to address them later.
Yeah, let's totally trust this. Should I have, like, switched out Sino for someone else so I can have 5 people in the party? I should have done that, shouldn't I? Damn it. Yeah.
This is not what Paimon was expecting to find in the desert, especially not hidden right next to an oasis. Ooh, Paimon's scared.
This is very cool, though.
They must have kidnapped Cyrus. Do you think this is the guy Raka met in the tavern?
Of course, absolutely.
What's wrong? Thinking about your professor?
I just hope for your sake you haven't done anything you might regret.
Me too. Hope I haven't done anything to incur your wrath.
Oh my god. How majestic this all is. Oh, it's gorgeous. Talk to the mysterious person. Why does the mysterious person whose name we totally don't know is Sethos all the way over there? So where is he? Oh, right there. Okay.
Alright, you can wait here for now. I'll inform our leader that you've arrived at the Temple of Silence. Sit tight until he comes to greet you.
The leader is Cyrus though, right? Is it?
So he's just gonna leave us here unattended? Maybe we're not being kidnapped after all.
There's always a twist at the end,
They can't have
okay?
been at the oasis by chance. They were waiting for us. Whoever the leader is here, they were obviously counting on us showing up.
It's totally Cyrus.
So this is the Temple of Silence. After leaving the rainforest, they hid themselves here?
Hey, look! That guy's coming back.
Don't worry. Someone will come and call for you soon.
What's your name?
Yeah, please, at least tell us what to call you, Sethos.
Sorry, guess I was so delighted to see you, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sethos. I'll be here
No
if you need me,
way!
but I'm not planning on answering all of your questions. Other than that, you can occupy yourselves however you see fit.
So we're free to explore by ourselves.
Yep. I mean, I'm not worried about you running off. Cyrus is here. And unless I've misunderstood, you're all quite anxious to see him again.
He's right. Well, if we've got some time, we might as well take a look around.
I'm gonna do this as Sino. Until I go and talk to Sino. Okay, hi. Is there actually anything to have a look around?
Have you got some time to chat?
Sure. Although, I'm assuming by chat, you mean you have questions for me? I don't blame you. Anyone else would.
So you get a lot of people asking you questions.
Not often. The Temple of Silence is a place of quiet and solitude. We don't get too many visitors.
So you're the one who tricked Uraka, right?
Yes, that was me. Although, tricked is a stretch. He was asking everyone in the tavern about ways to make some easy money. He insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it broke the law. So, I told him that Cyrus had embezzled a large sum of mora from the desert.
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not commit?
Oh, he totally committed
No,
it, though.
That's not entirely true. Let me jog your memory. The letter just said that he had uncovered Cyrus's secret. It didn't say what secret that was.
Did he tell him to use that wording?
Of course. Uraka was a great accomplice, really. Very cooperative with a little bit of wine in him. Did exactly what he was told. And not much of an original thinker, though. It doesn't surprise me that he struggles academically.
Why did Cyrus leave for the desert as soon as he received the letter?
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. Certain things I can't answer for him. I'm neither judging nor defending him. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem, and it was his own choice to take the bait.
So do you know Sino?
What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra. Everyone in Sumeru knows who he is.
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure, or you wouldn't have asked him. So, what we're really asking is, have you never seen him in person before?
I've lived in the desert my whole life. Guess you could say I've never had the pleasure.
Ugh, why does Paimon feel like this guy's not being straight with us?
Come on, we've only just met. If I give you all the answers up front, you'll have nothing left to look forward to.
Have you ever been to the Academia?
Nope. Not once.
Really?
I have no need to go there. Not when the taverns are full of the Urakas of this world. Besides, we're well aware of what goes on at that place.
So you're saying you have spies inside the city?
Spies? It's not as clandestine as that. The city gates are wide open. Anyone's free to walk in. You can find out all you need to know just by walking around town and hearing the word on the street.
That's all I wanted to ask. So is there actually anything around to, like, investigate, or... Is it just an excuse to talk to everybody? I'm sure there's nothing around. How do you get all the way up there, though? My god, it's magnificent. Okay, Sino. Sup?
I never imagined that the true Temple of Silence would be hidden somewhere like this. We've passed through these parts before, but never noticed anything.
That's King Deshret's technology for you, I guess. It borders on the miraculous. Amazing to think that it's been preserved intact all this time.
We should be wary of our hosts. Still, at this point, we can be confident that the professor is safe and sound. So that's something.
Okie dokie. No, there's something going on with Cyrus. I refuse to believe otherwise.
Ah, here he is.
What's that sound just then?
Grandfather, the person you wish to see is here.
Well done, Sethos. Greetings,
okay.
one and all. I am Ba Moon, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. I know why you are here, and I thank you for your patience. Bring him out.
There's still something going on with Cyrus. I refuse. He's being so suspicious.
Professor!
Hi.
Cyrus, are you okay?
Ah!
You remember that thing you said about...
What you're doing.
Remember that thing you just said?
My apologies. We have no intention of causing you distress. But you must understand, Cyrus is of great importance to us. We had to find a way to bring him back to us.
Remember that thing, Seth, you just said about like not wanting to incur the wrath of Sino? This is a weird way of not doing that.
Cyrus owes me his life, and to the Temple of Silence, he owes a debt of gratitude. I let him go a long time ago, but now the time has come to demand payment.
I wanted to end my feud with this old bag of bones before you caught up with me, but you got here so quickly. Just leave, Sino. This is a matter between us two old men. You're all too young to get involved.
Absolutely not.
So that's why you didn't want to report the letter. You'd made up your mind to come here from the beginning. You only left in such a hurry to try and throw us off your trail.
Some things in life catch up with you, no matter what you do. You shouldn't have come. That alone brought the others.
Yeah, he didn't have a choice about that, I'm
Sino
afraid.
didn't make us do anything. We came here for the same reason he did. To rescue you. We'd appreciate you telling us the truth. Otherwise, it seems a little unfair on everyone who had to stay behind.
My secrets are secret for good reason. Bringing them to light can only lead to misfortune.
You're afraid, aren't you? You can't bring yourself to speak of your past deeds to the students you nurtured as if they were your own children. You recognized our emblem because for many years you lived among us. Indeed, you all but became one of us.
Knew he was involved.
You knew as soon as you saw the letter that we, not Uraka, were the ones speaking to you. It threatened you only because you know what you did. Your own guilt convicted you. For you, Cyrus, are a traitor. You once shared your learning with us, and joined us in our mission to revive the might of Hermanubis, to bring new hope, new opportunity. But then you betrayed us. You bargained for your independence with your past contributions. And then you left, taking with you Hermanubis' might and the wielder of his power.
Ooh, maybe it's not a good idea for Sino to be here, actually, then. So, the door's over there, you can just, like, leave while they're talking.
We both know what I said to you that day. That as the leader, I grant you permission to leave. But that one day, the sands of time will catch up with you. And when that day comes, you must pay the price you owe.
You really know how to hold a grudge.
Hermanubis' might? And the wielder of his power?
Does he mean you?
Professor, anything to say?
Moon is right. I came here once before. He rescued me from the brink of death once, many years ago in the desert. When he learned that I was a scholar, invited me to come here and revive the might of Hermanubis together.
This is gonna break my heart. Oh my god.
It was a great, daring plan, and one shrouded in secrecy. The Temple of Silence had been bereft of Hermanubis for too long. The strength of its faith and its warriors were waning. Bamoon proposed that we implant bar fragments, shards of Hermanubis, into the bodies of suitable vessels. If the experiment was successful, the spirit of Hermanubis would then dwell within the vessel. Many believers volunteered themselves for the experiment. But we soon discovered that the bodies of grown adults could not withstand Hermanubis' power. In the end, Bamoon offered his own adoptive grandson. One other child was identified as a suitable vessel, and his parents agreed to release him into our custody in exchange for a small fortune. These two children were our only hope for hosting Hermanubis' power.
For many years, the Temple of Silence had been in possession of 2 Ba fragments from Hermanubis. As remnants of his raw power, they were exceedingly rare treasures. The test subjects were sent into a room that had been prepared for the ceremony, and instructed to approach the Ba fragments, whose power had been amplified. If, after some time, this power did not repel them, this would mean that they were suitable vessels. The original plan was for a 3-stage experiment: resonance, implantation, and recovery and observation. The resonance stage went quite smoothly for both candidates. As the 2nd stage began, I realized a decision had to be made. Should we implant the fragments one at a time? This would allow us to monitor the results after the 1st round and adjust our plan accordingly. Or alternatively, we could implant each fragment in a different vessel at the same time and compare their effects. But as I was deliberating, both Ba fragments suddenly became active. They glowed with a light we had never seen before. I knew that if they were not implanted right away, they would disintegrate and be gone from the world for good. Our 2 vessels had both displayed great promise by successfully resonating with the fragments. Under the circumstances, the thought of implanting both fragments into the same vessel seemed out of the question. To preserve our faith and our power, we implanted each of them with a single fragment.
Ultimately, I ended the experiment and left, taking one of the children with me.
In recognition of your past contributions, I chose not to send someone to hunt down and kill you both. Your lives were spared, but I have paid a great price for your betrayal ever since. I have always wanted to see you, Sino. Losing you and your Ba fragment dealt us a devastating blow. We've been in decline ever since you left.
I see. So that's how I gained my power.
Look, in essence, I borrowed your Ba fragment for a decade or so. And now you are seeking justice. If you want to take my life, then so be it. I'm an old man now anyway. But you cannot lift a finger against Sino. He is the General Mahamatra. Your actions would be seen as a declaration of war against the Academia.
I'm sure you don't remember anymore, dear Sino, but you've met us all before. You were so young then, when we all gathered around and celebrated the revival of our Lord. You and he, Sethos, you were our final hope.
You'd like me to return my power?
No.
As a follower of
You actually
Hermanubis,
can't.
I have allowed this power to remain in the rainforest for far too long. Now, it is time to reclaim it.
Absolutely not.
Power is not yours to reclaim. Cyno was chosen by the gods. You cannot take what they have bestowed.
Also, I hate to tell you this, but that's like legitimately just part of his playstyle. So like,
You are wrong.
Can't happen.
Cyno was chosen, but he was not the only one. My child, Sethos, has the same gift as he.
So those are your terms for freeing the professor?
Despise me all you want. My sins are my own. The Temple of Silence is an innocent party. It is because of my foolishness all those years ago that the Temple's glory has waned. And now I must take responsibility for the decision I made back then.
So what you're saying is, the power of one Ba fragment is not enough? You're asking me to return the one in my possession, so it can be implanted in him instead?
Absolutely not.
Divine power causes great suffering to those who wield it. How do you know that Sethos would be able to withstand it?
He is no longer a small child. But regardless, this burden is ours to bear, and your objections mean little given that you turned your back on us long ago.
Both my heart and mind are telling me that what you are proposing is a terrible idea. However...
Don't listen to him, Cyno. That power is no more yours to give than it is his to take.
Also, it's part of your playstyle, so like you actually can't, Cyno.
But if this is a question of your freedom versus a fragment of power, then there is nothing to debate.
Sorry to interrupt, but in my view, there are a number of contentions here that still need addressing.
Oh, Tainari, I love you. No, you interrupt right away, sweetie.
Say that Cyno refuses to return his power, and you also refuse to release Cyrus. Then, we are at an impasse. I find it hard to believe that you went to all this effort without planning for that possibility. You're trying to gauge where we stand while keeping your remaining cards close to your chest. Well, my stance is, put the rest of your cards on the table. Then we can have a discussion.
This is why Tainari needed to be here.
Those ears. So, we have a descendant of the Valukashuna in our midst. Splendid. Fate smiles upon us after all.
Okay.
Everything we have longed for, Hermanubis will provide. Perhaps this very day we'll...
Did he just die? No, okay. I just really thought he just gave that speech and then just died. So he's ill, okay.
Why is he coughing so much? He looks like he's in really bad shape.
Must be forcing himself to act strong. Yeah, we don't care though. His eyesight must be failing him too, otherwise he would have noticed Tainari's ears right away. Yeah, an astute observation. We don't care. Leave?
Lead her back to his room.
Sethos, you must...
Grandfather, I know what you wish to say. Leave this in my hands.
Are we gonna fight him? Are we gonna fight Sethos?
I don't like to drag out conversations, so I'll just cut to the chase. Had Cyrus not stopped the experiment all those years ago, the plan would most likely have been a success. The wisdom of Hermanubis would have been ours. Still, it's no use talking about what-ifs. We cannot change the past. I'm not like my grandfather. The Temple of Silence has a grand legacy and a sacred duty to fulfill. So it's somewhat inevitable for the leader to have an inflated sense of self. But I see things a little differently. I don't believe the temple has the same stature that it once did. Time has worn away at its prestige and changed things almost beyond recognition. So I'm not going to force your hand. You're all free to leave. Except for Cyrus. My grandfather gave him his chance once. And now I'm giving the rest of you yours.
You have courage and wise judgment, kid. Reminds me a lot of Bamoon in his younger years. I just Oh, I truly wish that the temple would take an objective look at the academia of today. You've been to the city yourself. I'm sure you've seen that much has changed for the better. And things will only continue to improve. Why not consider cooperating with the academia once more?
If you hadn't betrayed my grandfather, I might well be open to persuasion. But it's a bit too late for that now, Cyrus.
Tighnari made a good point earlier. He said there has to be more to your plan than this, and I agree. All you and Ba Moon are after is the Ba fragment. The professor will accept whatever fate you deem fit for him out of a sense of guilt. I am the one who has a choice to make. And that's how it was always going to be. Ultimately, you want to trade the Ba fragment for the professor, correct?
I'm glad to see you're giving it some serious consideration.
I won't forsake my professor, nor do I intend to run from a problem that I must face sooner or later. Give me one night to make my decision.
That works. Then I'll be waiting to hear your verdict, Sino. Oh, my grandfather still has a fair few things he wants to say to Cyrus, so I'll be escorting him back now.
Are you sure about negotiating with him?
I need to think this through. Everyone, let's meet again later tonight. Until then, take some time for yourself.
Alright, well, don't put too much pressure on yourself, Sino. If you need any help working things out, just come and find us.
My God. So the whole, like, embezzling Mora from the desert or whatever was, what that meant was he stole Sino. I know that's fairly obvious at this point, I'm just, yeah. Wait until what time? Nighttime, okay. The group goes again at the agreed time.
I've taken some time to reflect on this. If I had to guess, Professor Cyrus came to the desert knowing that he would almost certainly never return. He's a stubborn man who tends to double down when he feels strongly about something. We won't get anywhere trying to convince him to escape.
I agree. My master Nephis says the same thing. Once Cyrus makes up his mind about something, he won't listen to reason.
So that's one thing. A few other things come to mind too. You've heard all you need to hear about the Temple of Silence. So on that, I don't have anything to add. My own memories of this place are hazy though. Probably something to do with the overpowering presence of the Ba fragments. That might explain why I suffered from constant headaches and fevers as a child.
Oh.
I do remember having some fleeting moments of profound emotion when vague images would appear in my mind. But I don't recall much, only bits and pieces. I was still young then, and all I could understand was that there was a strong will inside my mind. Thinking back on it now, I suppose it was Hermanubis' way of trying to encourage me,
Yeah.
even if we couldn't communicate.
Oh, that's
the power that
sweet.
came to inhabit my spirit was probably one of the cornerstones of their whole faith. So if the will and might of Hermanubis is a real, intangible thing, and they are its rightful worshippers, then...
You're not giving it up,
Give in to
Sino.
their demands, are you? Surely there has to be another way.
Like, you actually can't, though, so, like, what's the problem? Don't make... Like, sorry, this is, like... You know, when you ult as Sino, that's what happens, right? So, like... This is obviously isn't ending that way. Don't make any rash decisions, Sino.
No. I have no intention of returning.
Obviously.
I need this power to protect Sumeru. But the temple has the right to make the final decision over its fate, since it belongs to one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret.
So you want them to agree.
So I will challenge them head on, and win the right to wield this power for myself, fair and square.
Yes!
This reminds me of something Alhaitham mentioned to me just before we left. He said that the Temple of Silence was originally founded by the ruling elite of the day. Traditionally, such organizations are bound by a strict and ancient code of nobility. Kaveh has made similar observations about the desert tribes from his work trips there. He says many of them have their own internal rules. They talk about the importance of never dishonoring their tribal bonds, or the rules laid down by their ancestors. I think we could turn that to our advantage. Go back to them with a proposal of our own.
Wow, and just like that, we've turned the tables on them.
Looks like we have the same idea. Turn it back on them now while we still can, in terms that they cannot refuse. That's how we win this.
That sounds good to me.
Great. And I know just how to start the conversation. Let's go find Sethos. We'll tell him that I know a thing or two about medicine and would like to take a look at his grandfather's condition.
Exactly what I mean about, like, everyone's niches just fitting together so perfectly. Oh, I love this. This might be my favourite one yet. I am lost, by the way. Hi, don't mind me. I don't mean to run in here. That's it. We just came from here. If I jump down there, do I die? Because there's no way to get back up. Or is there? I don't know. I'm not testing it. I'm just curious.
Sethos, let's talk.
Have you made up your mind?
We'll get to that, but first, I have some degree of medical training, so I was wondering if you might let me take a look at your grandfather?
I have no objections, although we do have our own doctors here. I doubt you'll be able to tell us anything we don't already know.
Oh, don't underestimate
Only
Tainari.
one way to find out.
Follow me. Keep your voices down. We don't want to disturb him.
Then I take size medical care and performs basic medical exam for Beaumont.
Let's talk outside.
The prognosis is shit.
Bamoon has fallen into a deep coma, and his prognosis is quite grave. I'm sure that your physicians have come to the same conclusion. He appears to have sustained a serious injury in his youth, which has been exacerbated over the years by the heavy burden of work and now by the effects of old age. Regretfully, I must inform you that, based on what I've seen with patients in a similar condition, he doesn't have long left. A few days at most.
Yeah. I've known for a long time.
You're his heir, aren't you? You clearly have a lot of respect for the man. but you also see things differently. You have a broader range of concerns and a more pragmatic approach. So tell me how we can end this on your terms. Let's find a way to bring all this to a resolution while Bamoon is still alive to see it. That's what really matters to you. I know it.
Yeah, there's no time to waste here. You know that better than anyone.
You know, the two of you are actually in a very similar predicament right now. Both of you have a very different perspective from the men who raised you.
Right. And you didn't create this situation. They did, but somehow you've ended up having to make the tough decisions.
You're right. We both look at this problem very differently than the people we inherited it from. I accept, Sino. This all began because of Hermanubis, so let's end it with the rite he himself created. Legend has it that when Hermanubis first arrived in Tuletula, he sparred with the city's residents. He and his two companions proved their mettle by fighting over several days, winning the support of many fine people. That group of supporters were some of the first members of the Temple of Silence, and the sparring matches were enshrined as one of our founding rites, the rite of duels. It's where it all began.
Sounds very fitting. I'm in.
As a fellow vessel of Hermanubis, your ties to the Temple of Silence run deep. So I will permit you to participate in this rite, along with your chosen companions.
3 against 3. Sounds good.
However, I have some additional terms. As the challengers, you must win all 3 of your fights to win. And Sino, both of us must put our Ba fragment on the line. The winner takes them both.
Right, so what's going to happen is that obviously Sino's going to win. Because this is Sino's thing, right? Sino's going to win, but he's not going to take both of them. That's my prediction. I'm locking it in.
Letting Cyrus leave with one of the Ba fragments was a mistake, made by my grandfather out of pity. It is a long-standing issue that must be addressed for the Temple of Silence to move forward. I can make no concessions on that front.
None needed. We're on the same page. If I win, the Temple of Silence must release Cyrus, and consider this past dispute resolved. If you win, I'll return my power to you.
It's a deal. Then let's meet at the ceremonial hall tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock.
Tomorrow evening at 8. Tomorrow evening at 8. Don't go into settings. Oh, I'm going to forget this by the time I talk to Sino. You feeling alright? You're gonna win. You're Sino.
After how that went, there's definitely no turning back now.
There never was. Turning back hasn't been an option for me since the moment the professor slipped away to return to the desert.
You have to win. You need this power, both as General Mahamatra and for yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Besides, it stayed with you ever since you were a small child. Surely that's a sign it thinks of you as its rightful owner.
Both as General Mahamatra and for myself. Yeah, when you put it that way. I've had to overcome a lot to tame this power and claim it for myself.
Yeah.
Not everyone could have done that.
You're very cool, Sino. We'll help you see through this.
The Traveler and I will never lose.
So convenient that it was 2 companions.
And neither shall I.
So convenient.
The desert was home to an ancient and great civilization that, for a variety of reasons, fell out with the civilization of the rainforest. It's just as Dia said. Prejudice has pushed people apart. But there must be personal factors at work here too. I can't shake the feeling that Bamoon cares for many more things than he lets on. And I don't think that Sethos is any kind of villain. He's just doing what he thinks is best. Tomorrow, everything will be resolved.
Sino. Sino. How much does a rainbow weigh? Not much. They're pretty light. Get it? Because pretty light refers to something not being very heavy. Oh, it's pretty light. But also rainbows are literally pretty light. As in they're light. But because of all the colours, they're quite pretty. Get it? Yeah, okay.
Oh, it's just some chronic problem I have flaring up again. Nothing to worry about.
We gather on this day to perform once more the rite of duels, with the greatest of all sages, Lord Hermanubis, as our witness, for his power and authority is present in our midst. This is our most sacred of ceremonies, and no disruption from the audience shall be tolerated. It is incumbent upon all to observe the duel with the utmost respect and reverence throughout the proceedings. Representing the Temple of Silence, the Defenders.
Oh, hello.
Grandfather, you're here.
A rite of duels after all these years. I am surprised by your decision, Sethos.
I know what I'm doing, Grandfather. Just leave it to me.
Representing the Academia, the Challengers.
So with all these noises for
We will fight to have our voices heard.
Warriors, take your positions and decide on the order of battle. We come not to debate what brings our challengers here, nor what will become of the defeated duelists. Duelists, the might of Hermanubis himself is at stake here. Now, fight. Fight until the rightful victor is proclaimed.
Hey! Oh, yo! I got a second. Yo! Oh! Oh, bless! Yo! Yo! Aw, you're sneezing in my face. Thanks very much for that. Mwah. You want some attention? I'm sorry, am I not giving you enough attention? Yeah, I'll go first and everything. Just give me a sec. I have very important things to be doing right now. Sorry, Sethos. Mwah. Mwah. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Mwah. Mwah. What do you want? What do you want? Do you want to come here? Can you come up? Can you hop up? There. Words and everything. Can you hop up? Want to come up? Come here. Come on then. Come here. Go up. Belly up. Yes, hello. Do you want to... Is that what you're after? Do you want to come up? Do you want to come all the way up? You can sit on my lap. You can sit on my lap. You can if you want to. You want to? I'm sure you can. Yeah? Is that what you want? Is that what you're after? Oh, she's a good girl. Oh, you're so lovable. Mwah. Mwah. You're here to comfort me during these tough times. Come here. Sweet Daisy. Hello. Oh, hi. Hello. Hello. Oh. You right? You okay? You comfortable now? Actually, can Tainara go first? I can't use my arm right now. I've got a dog on it. Sorry, Sethos, don't mind me. I am coming, I promise. It's the way he's just staring. Furfur, are you gonna take him on first? Oh God, alright. Oh, you're so sweet. You know that. You're so sweet. Do you think I could manage to fight this guy with you on my lap? What do you think? Shall I give it a go? Shall I give it a go? You're comfortable. As long as you're comfortable. As long as you're comfortable. The assistant stock that you are. As long as you're comfortable. That's fine. Okie dokie. Let's spin around. Let's spin around a bit. There we go. There we go. Oopsie daisy. Alright. Listen, if I lose, it's not my fault.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I want to keep our morale up. I'm cheating a bit because there's actually
agree.
2 of us.
She's very strong. Sending her out first will definitely intimidate the opposing side.
Okay, then you're second.
Sure.
We have decided.
So have we. Let's begin.
Oh God, okay. Oh?
Duelists of the first bout, please step forward.
Sorry. Are you alright? Are you okay on my lap? Oh God, what's my VTuber model doing right now? No, we're fine. We're fine. So this is actually... Oh my God, this is actually so accurate to how we look model-wise now. Let me, make myself a bit bigger. Now that I'm sitting further away. Yeah, this is actually how we look now. Alright, let's go! You and me, Furfur! Oh God, I hope I'm not actually using the Traveller though. I'm not good at fighting as the Traveller. Furfur, you're gonna help? I'm gonna tell me what buttons to press. Did we just die immediately? Back in Risley's office.
Don't forget, safety first!
Oh God. Oh God.
Hey, you there! You better play nice with her, or Paimon will make you regret it!
A little bit too much chatter from the audience over there.
Hey!
You know that thing we said about like me being powerful and everything? Actually, you know what? No, we're doing great. Oh my God. Hell yes. In your face.
A swift end to the first bout. I now invite the duelists of the second bout to please step forward. When you're both ready, you may begin.
I want you to know
Let's
that.
begin.
I want you to know that Furfur is like actually watching the screen right now.
Watch out!
Don't you need Electro to fight these guys?
Before the bout, so he should be fine.
Oh God.
Enshroud!
I don't know how to fight as Tainari. This may have escaped you, but I don't have Tainari. Can you just, can you? Thank you. Oh, no, we're fine. Okay, never mind. I take it back. No, we do! We need Electro! Well, this was just flawed from the beginning!
One with the force.
That's very rude!
I'll uproot you!
I mean, we did it anyway, so it's like, screw you. Can you hear me okay all the way back over here? I hope so. Oh, she's sitting up looking at the screen. I know, it's interesting, isn't it? I know. Hey, that's you in the reflection, look. That's you. Can you see yourself?
Thus ends the second bout. We will now move to the third bout. Duelists, please step forward.
I'm ready.
Oh, God. I'm not.
So am I.
This is the final stage of the rite.
I use Sino all the time.
The terms you agreed upon in advance are binding.
I use Sino all the time and he's so good, but like I use Sino with Baiju. I'm not used to using him by himself.
When you're both ready, you may begin.
I don't want to do it.
I am Sethos, vessel of Hermanubis, grandson of Bamoon, the leader of the Temple of Silence. For many years, we have kept our covenant with Lord Hermanubis by guarding the secrets of King Deshret. And even in our darkest hour, when we could not see a way forward, we chose not to abandon hope, but to embark on a brave new experiment so that we might prevail. We earnestly sought Lord Hermanubis' wisdom and power, longing to see his spirit and his light descend upon us. Now, I will fight to become the rightful wielder of that power.
What do you think,
I am Sino, General Mahamatra of the Academia, student and successor of Cyrus, the Sage of Spantamad. I fight in defense of my power, my professor, and my nation.
I'm actually so sorry for doubting you, Sino. Not Sino. I never doubted you, Sino. I'm so sorry for doubting you, Cyrus. You have to admit you're acting a bit suspicious. Turns out it was all wholesome. I'm so sorry, Cyrus.
And you. I think you left some things unsaid. This is a sacred duel, and Hermanubis is watching. So bare your soul.
Oh my God. We love Sino around here, don't we, Furfur?
Old and young, fit and frail. They're all waiting to see how this duel will end. My grandfather is a wise leader. He is also known to be a ruler who is not afraid to get blood on his hands. I understand his beliefs well, and I know what he expects of me. But our faith has held us back for too long. After I grew up, I went to the rainforest once, and I saw for myself the people of the city. Times have changed. The people of Sumeru are happier and more free now than in the past. I thought about this as I stood at one of the tallest points in the city, gazing down at the streets below. Then I thought of you, Sino. You and I both wield the same power, yet the lives we lead could not be more different. Each Ba fragment of Hermanubis stands for something different. Might, glory, and one of many other secrets that have yet to be revealed. I once thought that the nature of our fragments must be what makes us so different from one another. But maybe it's that you've found your answer, and I am still searching for mine.
I am more than just a warrior. I am my own person.
Exactly.
The name Hermanubis has left its mark on both of us, shaped the course of our lives. We are his vessels, and yet we are more besides. So show me your answer, Sino. Show me I can be more than my faith. More than the power I wield. Show me the person I can become!
I'm gonna need my hand back in a minute, Furfur. I'm ever so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Bring it on!
Wish me luck, Furfur. Are you watching? If we actually have to do anything, I'm assuming that it's just them, actually. Oh, great, Furfur. We could just sit back and relax. Who choreographs these? Genshin fights are the best, honestly. You know how I feel about, like, fight choreography.
That's all you've got. What happened is searching for your answer.
Oh my god, this is so cool. That was a beautiful fight. Oh my god.
Do you yield?
That was choreographed so nicely.
Well then, looks like you found your answer.
Crap. That was delightful. Cheat? Oh, sorry. Sorry, Sethos. The way you were looking at him, I thought you were gonna... Sorry.
I've seen that light. That is the light of our Lord. The great Hermanubis, priest over all other priests. His spirit dwells within that lightning, and his will lives on. Once a warrior of Tynar, he emerged from the barren desert sands to serve the god king Al-Ahmar. After the death of the god king, Hermanubis gathered his followers and the Tynarian priests and led them to the city of Tule-Tula. There, they founded the Temple of Silence, and from that day forth, we became stewards of all knowledge that survived from King Deshret's civilization. Barely a century passed before war ravaged the desert. One by one, Eremite leaders took up arms against each other in battles that would devour what little remained of their civilization. Only the wise city of Tule-Tula was spared under the guiding hand of the Tynarians. But peace did not last. Coveting the knowledge of King Deshret, the beasts set their eyes on Tule-Tula. The king of Gurabad laid siege to the city and ordered the sages to surrender to him the Temple of Silence as proof of his victory.
You wanna get down there? Is that what you're...
The ruling elite colluded with their oppressors, betraying the temple so as to hold on to their rule over the city. They declared that the knowledge guarded by the temple was the true cause of corruption. These were dark days, and we faced enemies on all sides. Our Lord had long since exhausted his strength, keeping the forbidden knowledge introduced by King Deshret at bay. To ensure the temple's continued survival, he broke his being into many pieces and began the ceremony of Hermanubis' legacy, bestowing his power upon his mortal followers. With this power, the temple was able to defeat the tyrant's army. Yet, we were not hailed as heroes. Strange and unfamiliar as this power was, it struck fear into the people's hearts and drove them to reject us. In the end, the people of the temple and the Tule Tula Tainarians left the city for good and made their way to the rainforest. What followed next was inevitable. The elite of Tule Tula fell and were decimated. War engulfed the desert. And we wandered from place to place, always in hiding, all the while keeping close watch over our secrets and staying true to our mission. Betrayal forced us out of the desert and into the forest. Then mistrust drove us from the forest into the desert once more. We have lived in exile for far, far too long. Yet, today, the Temple of Silence has borne witness to the glory of Hermanubis once more. Thank you.
How is it? Do you feel okay?
Oh, he did take it. Okay. Good. Oh, is he dead now? Oh, he's dead. What a way to die, though.
Grandfather.
You, Sethos, and the other members of the temple bid farewell to Fomon. In the Great Hall, people gathered on the... How am I supposed to read that game?
Hey, Sethos. You'll get through this.
I know. I'll miss him.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
I guess you were prepared for this. It's been a long time coming, huh?
Yeah, he's been on death's door for a very long time now. I think it was only through sheer willpower that he managed to hold on to this point. At least, he was able to see this chapter come to a close before he passed.
What's next for you?
Per my grandfather's last wishes, the Temple of Silence should submit to whoever possesses the largest number of Hermanubis fragments. That entitles you to be our new leader, Sino.
But that's never going to work, as I'm sure you realize. I'm the General Mahamatra. I am needed back at the Academia. I did foresee this possibility, and I gave it some thought. The fact is, I know next to nothing about the staff, records, and environment here. As such, I am ill-suited to be your leader. Sethos, I believe the honor should go to you. Were it not for this duel, or indeed if you had other intentions, the Ba fragments would most likely be in your hands by now. I'm sure Bamun never meant for anyone but you to be his successor.
You really think so?
I do.
Still, I didn't think Bamun looked very surprised by the final result. Perhaps he had an inkling that this would be the way things end.
Well, In any case, since the Ba fragments are with me now, I guess I can call the shots.
I know
Sethos,
Sorry.
I would like you to succeed Bamun as the new leader of the Temple of Silence. You are more suited to the role than I, and I have complete faith that you will be an excellent leader. Just think of it as doing me a favor.
I know I said I didn't think that Sino was actually going to end up with both of them. I thought things were going to stay the way they were. Obviously, I wasn't going to lose what he had, obviously, because it was his playstyle and everything. But I didn't expect him to, like, actually get the second one. But I'm really glad he did, because like, obviously Sethos is going to become playable eventually, right? Like, look at him, obviously. I would hate to have two characters with the same kind of, like, both with Hermanubis power when we play, if you get what I mean. So, like, I'm very happy it ended up the way that it did.
But doesn't that render everything that we've been through up to now meaningless?
No, it doesn't. This experience has allowed us to become friends, which means that the Academia and the Temple of Silence will become partners once more.
More friends!
That's a much bigger deal than you might think, Sethos. You said yourself, times have changed. You have to believe that things can change for the better here at the temple too.
I will try. To be honest, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
Actually, part of me wonders whether Bamun's intentions from the very beginning was just to create enough pressure to force us towards a duel. That way, no matter who won, one of us would have to surrender our Ba fragment, and the power of Hermanubis would be concentrated in one single person.
Clever.
Had you won, the Temple of Silence would have doubled its strength. And were I to win, he correctly anticipated that I wouldn't suddenly drop everything to become the leader of the temple, much less integrate the temple into the Academia by force. He knew that the temple's future would depend not just on the guidance of Hermanubis, but the support of the Academia too. So he made it his responsibility to ensure his successor would be free from the burdens of the past. His plan meant that whoever ended up succeeding him, they would have an easier time interacting with the Academia. With one single letter, he lured out the professor. No matter what happened after that, it would result in a net benefit to the temple.
And here I thought the General Mahamatra wouldn't care for all these trivial details. You're absolutely right. Grandfather and I considered this from every angle. We had to find a way to mend our relationship with the Academia. In that sense, the right of duels was just a means to an end. Thank you for everything, Sino. As a gesture of our gratitude, to those that you and Lesser Lord Kusanali deem worthy, I will grant the honor of access to the Temple of Silence for their pursuit of knowledge. The Temple of Silence has a wealth of information on King Deshret's civilization, more than any other organization in existence today. In times when you need information that only we can provide, we will be here to support you. But you must be exceedingly careful with your selection of candidates, lest you lead humanity to repeat the same mistakes. By the way, Tainari, my grandfather was so happy to see you. You are a descendant of the Veluca Shuna, and we are the heirs to the will of Hermanubis. The story goes that King Deshret chose the sage Hermanubis from among the Tainarians and appointed him as his familiar. He went on to fight many valiant battles with his Tainarian companions. They always stood by each other, from the founding of the Temple of Silence to the fall of Tuletula. The Tainarians who left Tuletula joined their human counterparts in the rainforest. A few centuries later, when some of the group returned to the desert, many of the Tainarians chose to stay and put down roots in the rainforest. In all likelihood, those were your ancestors.
How fascinating. My father once mentioned that I was named after the Tainarians, but I never knew that my forebears had such a history with the Temple of Silence.
I like this story.
By the way, has anyone seen Cyrus?
Yes, Cyrus. You'll probably find him in my grandfather's room. He wouldn't show it in front of me, but I think he still has many fond memories of my grandfather.
If it's true that you and your grandfather really planned for everything to turn out this way, then I guess he didn't really resent Cyrus as much as he appeared to.
Who knows? Perhaps all of us. You, me, and Cyrus. We're all just pawns in my grandfather's plan to set things straight. He was awful like that.
Someone's got to make the decisions when history is at a crossroads. I will make a detailed report on all of this to Lesser Lord Kusanali, and arrange for an official delegation from the Academia to come and meet you in the desert. I'm sure you'll have lots to attend to in the days ahead. But once things return to normal, please come and visit the rainforest again. You should stay for a few days this time, and start to build some relationships. If we're going to work together, both sides have to get to know one another better.
I will. All right, well, bye for now, everyone. I'll be seeing you.
See you soon. Come hang out with us anytime.
Best of luck to you, Sethos.
Grandfather, we did it. We achieved what we set out to do. From this day on, the Temple of Silence has the chance to work with the Academia once more. Real change. Real opportunities. They are now within our grasp.
Nice. God, this was heavy and I loved every second of it. Oh my god, we can actually... Can we actually, after the quest? Like, do we actually have access to the Temple of Silence now after the quest, or will that disappear after this ends? Oh. So I'm assuming we have to reconvene with some other people now, right? I beg. Oh! I'm so sorry, Neverlet. I did not mean to do that. Here, I'll...
The doctor will see you.
There you go.
Had to swallow.
Hi. Do I
What
keep
were
going
you
backwards?
thinking, gallivanting off into the desert alone at your age? What if you take the bucket, You told not a soul what you were up to, designated nobody to handle your affairs, and left everyone scrambling frantically to try and figure out how on earth to clean up the colossal mess you'd made.
I love him so much.
Oh, please, will you stop your yelling? What other choice did I have?
What do you mean, what other choice? Do you mean to tell me that after all your years of learning, and sagehood no less, the only idea you could conjure up in that white-haired walnut of yours was to shoot off into the unknown like some hot-headed 20-year-old adventurer? A one-man suicide mission, That's the best idea that one of the finest minds of a generation could come up with, is it? It astounds me that you survived the journey, and you're lucky that Ba Moon didn't finish you off when you arrived.
I love this so much.
All right. Honestly, the way you're going off on me, it's like you wish you'd been there to lend him a hand. Does it mean nothing to you that I'm your colleague and former classmate?
I've got nothing more to say. What's the point of berating an old bag of bones?
What do you mean, bag of bones? I'm a flesh-and-blood hero who, despite his old age, saved our General Mahamatra from being stripped of his power.
For God's sake, Cyrus.
Okay, look. Fine, I admit it, I was in the wrong. How can I make it up to you? What about, a month's work at the Academia?
1 month? Try 3.
Tighnari's master is really laying into Cyrus. Let's give them a wide berth.
We're too young to get involved.
Professor brought this on himself. Don't...
Oh, sorry, Sido.
Wow, I haven't seen Master get this riled up in a long time. The last time he chewed someone out like this must have been back when I was still a student.
I think I'll go around and update everyone. Tell them the situation's resolved. Want to come with me?
Yes.
We can go for dinner afterwards. My treat. You in?
Oh my God, yes,
Makes
please.
sense. I'm in.
Free food! It's free food!
Paimon's coming too! Let's go!
Of course you are. Oh my God, I love Nafis, is it? I love him so much. Dear God.
Start packing your things. Report for work first thing tomorrow morning. I'll be waiting for you.
What about my allowance? Oh, and is lunch covered? How about dinner?
Don't push your luck. Let's not forget who is compensating whom here.
Hey, man's gotta eat. Help me figure out something for lunch at least. I'm counting on you.
I hope we see more of him. He's so funny. Right, follow Sino. Where's Sino? Oh God. We almost got through an entire thing without Farazan. Do we have to? Oh, she pisses me off.
Hey, Kale.
Kale. And just Kale.
You're back.
And no one else.
Well, look who we have here. Would you mind explaining to me what has been going on this past few days? I heard you all ran off into the desert and got embroiled in a major catastrophe.
All taken care of.
That does not answer my question. How could you be so careless? That goes for you as well. Yes, and you too. When you run into problems, you really ought to ask for help, you know? I've been around the block. Don't you think it would have made sense to involve me?
No.
And let's not forget, I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Yeah, but I really don't like you, Farazan. I get what this is. This is like a, you know, a parallel to what's going off up there. I get it. She just irritates me.
Now would not be a good time to attempt to argue with Farazan.
You're right.
Like, just there's a difference between, oh, you're too young to get involved with this old people drama, and constantly being, oh, I'm superior to you because I'm older. She is the kind of person who would insist that you couldn't possibly know anything that was before your time. I can't tell you how much that pisses me off when people are, oh, you wouldn't know this song, oh, you wouldn't have seen this film or anything because it was before your time. There are lots of things that are before my time that it's not like it's a cut-off point that you're not allowed any information. You're not allowed to have watched anything or have listened to anything or have read anything that was written before the year you were born. Imagine how boring history would be. You know, imagine how boring reading anything would be if I wasn't allowed to know about anything that was produced before the mid-90s. How boring would that be? Oh, you wouldn't have seen this because it's before your time. Yeah, Frankenstein was before my time. It's still my absolute favourite Universal horror film ever. Beethoven was before my time. I've still heard him. You know what I mean? She's that kind of person. She's that kind of person. But, oh, it was before your time. You wouldn't know it was before your time. Yeah. DVDs and videos exist. You know? Oh, I guess you wouldn't know about that because that's after your time. Actually, DVDs are becoming obsolete now, isn't it? Do you know what I mean, though? She riles me up.
Mm-hmm. It's not the first time that I've had to talk to you about this sort of thing either. You need to learn that there are times when the right thing to do is get a more experienced member of staff involved. Do I make myself clear? Because if you don't,
It's like, dear God, the most recent episode of Doctor Who lost me so much with it being set in the 60s. Dear God, I didn't know a single thing. It was completely before my time. You know you know what I mean? How stupid that is. Okay, that's hilarious.
Please do something.
Coley, save us.
He's giving me the signal. All right.
Ah!
It's time to play my ace in the hole.
Oh my God, that was so cute! No way, that was so cute! Bless!
Say, Madame Farazan, I can see you're pretty upset, but, I was just wondering, remember that time you offered to give me a tour of the academia? Does that offer still stand?
I'm so happy. I know I keep going on about the 4 of them, but I'm so happy that Coley is also here. Coley also gets to be involved. She deserves it. You know, she deserves it. She's so sweet. They're all so sweet. She just pisses me off.
Wait, did I hear that right? Kale, you remember? Wonderful. Well, of course the offer still stands. Come on. Madame Farazan will show you around the old classrooms.
Thank you, Coley. You're amazing, Coley. You're a hero, Coley.
Poor Kale getting dragged off like that. Also, check out Farazan acting like some sort of official academia tour guide.
Oh, I know. She's so irritating, isn't she, Paimon?
Huh? What? Oh, right!
What do you mean, cup? You need a cup. I can get you a cup.
Oh, it's nothing. Just Master's way of reminding me to stay hydrated while I'm out and about.
What does it actually mean?
It's code for let's reconvene at the cafe. Tainari and I used it while we were in school, and it's become something of a family tradition now.
It's become something of a family tradition. Oh, my poor heart. Oh, this is killing me in all the right ways.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
So cute.
2 people left.
Yes.
Let's bring them along too.
Yes! Follow Sino. So are we having a meal, like all 4 of them plus Coley? Oh, if only Dia and Candice could be there too, then that would be perfect. Where am I going? Higher. Okay, sorry. I'm new to the academia. I've never been here before. Still arguing. Love to see it. I'll hate them, Kave. Look who we dragged back. You need to have a go at him as well for going off on his own. The fact that they have a secret code and everything and they call it a family tradition. Oh my God, I can't even. Ah. Hi guys. God, furniture in Genshin is huge.
Am I hallucinating? Or do I see Kaveh and Alhaitham engaged in diligent studying?
I know, this is like the weirdest thing that's happened all day. But like, it's like bloody Yggdrasil people, you know, from Gaim, having a meeting. And they're always like sitting miles away from each other and no one ever faces each other. It's just they're all just sat there. You've got, you know, Takatora and Ryoma and shit, I can't remember her name. But you know, all the people. But they're all like doing that thing, that spies do when they go to a park bench, and one of them sits on one side and one of them sits behind, even though I've never actually seen a park bench arranged that way before, ever, but they're sitting, like, with the backs to each other, so it looks like they're kind of just talking to themselves, which is just as weird. They're like that, but, like, in an office building, so it's all just spread apart, and they're sitting so far away from each other, because we can't, in that organisation, right, we can't be seen to socialise. We can't be seen to like each other around here. We can't be seen to be having a chat. That table is massive, and so are those chairs.
We're just reorganizing all the books we used. Look, there's a whole mountain of them.
There's no rush. Nobody reads these books anyway.
My sincere thanks to you both.
Yes, with your help, we resolved the issue rather swiftly and painlessly. And the outcome was better than we could have hoped for.
Solar forms are here to recover everything that happened in the desert.
I
read
see.
it.
The Temple of Silence resorted to rather unique means of self-preservation. It explains how they managed to remain hidden for so many years.
And it sounds like they managed to preserve a whole load of ancient documents as well. I'd love to go check those out if I ever had the chance.
That day will come. The Temple of Silence is a hugely important organization, and we'll be sure to maintain good relations with them in the future. Now, as a token of my appreciation, I'd like to treat everyone to coffee.
Sounds good.
Aww.
Yeah, sounds great. Although after the last few days, I don't know if I can handle another coffee, but I can just order something else.
Sure. Let's go.
Has Kaveh been stress drinking coffee? I know though, right, Sino, those two are getting on so well today. This is exactly what I like out of character story quest thingies in Genshin. Is like lore, great. We got some Sino lore, brilliant. We investigated a new location, amazing. We delved into. I'm so sorry, I'm busy. We delved into. Like, Bond's Sino, the main character of the thing, you know, has with other people. It wasn't just Sino acting by himself and then it's just us, because we're the Traveller and Paimon, we're special. But the fact that we got Alhaitham and Kaveh and Tainari and Collei and Dia and Candice, and it's just the crew again, all caring about Sino. And everybody else as well. Kaveh worrying about Tainari. Going into the desert. And just, I know it's just such a weird thing to care so much about. It's just, close friends being close friends, family even, but I don't know, it's just so precious. It's so precious. Like, this game has given us so many nice relationships and everything. It's so, like I said, they're my comfort group of people. They're just so, all of them together, it's just so nice and so cozy and so wholesome, and you have characters who don't really know how to interact.
Just pounced on their opponent and knocked them right out cold.
I'm so sorry, I'll get to you in a minute. When you have characters like Sino and Alhaitham even, who are a bit people would get the wrong impression of. And, they're probably not all that interested in maintaining friendships overall, generally, day to day anyway, but they have this special group of people. And Tainari as well is something I've completely forgot about, but he is like more of a solitude person. I was I realized that I didn't have that much knowledge of Tainari, so I gave him a quick Google, and that's what it says, so that's what I'm going with. Really, Carve is the only extrovert here. You know, but they all manage to interact in their own way, and you have Collei, who had like the worst bloody start in life, now has a family of her own, and it's just everybody, they understand each other and they know how to communicate with each other, and when they like say something that maybe people who don't know them very well might look at it the wrong way, here it's safe to be yourself, because nobody's going to get the wrong impression and no one's going to get the wrong idea and misinterpret you, and it's safe. It's a safe group of people, and it's cozy, and it's comforting, and it's just Sino, I love him. I love them all. Carry on, Paimon, telling the story.
He put up an amazing fight too. We ended up winning all 3 bouts.
Whoa. Part of me wishes I'd been there to see it, but I'd have been biting my nails off worrying about you guys.
A truly edifying account of the events. Bereft of detail, but it has livened up the room all the same.
Oh my god, high praise from Alhaitham. And the fact I'm going back to, I've not done this in video, but Carve's quest, his like hangout thing, I think it's yeah, it is. They're talking about Collei going to the academia and like what dashes she should join, and they all like all of them, like they all really care. They're all really invested in Collei studying and everything, and it's like they all care about each other.
Hey, Paimon included all the juicy details. The Traveler just pounced and then waved their sword like this, then spun around and blocked.
Despite winning 3 bouts in a row, you still ceded the position of leader to him. That's very dignified of you, Sino.
Of course. Being dignified comes with being a true champion.
I got to be a champion too for once. I've not sparred much with desert folk before. It was a pretty unique experience.
You did great, Tainari, especially since they pitted you with things that you really need Electro for. Which felt a bit cheaty, but, you know, you did it. You did it all by yourself. I didn't help at all. I had a dog sitting on me. The venue was pretty impressive too, a very ceremonial affair.
Yeah, huge place. It felt like something right out of an epic poem. Imagine this. It was like there was...
Maybe save that one for later, Paimon. Dessert's here.
Everyone enjoys each other's company. The general Mahamachi's generosity, the shout of personal from silence gradually fade away.
I think that'll
Just in
do me
time.
for today.
Your social battery running low.
Shall we stop off at the House of Dana again before heading home? We should probably finish putting all those books back.
My thoughts exactly. See you around.
I should get going as well. See you all later. Make sure you get some good rest tonight.
Did we go through an entire, like, multiple interactions with Alhaitham and Carve, and they didn't once argue? Oh my god! See, I swear to God, because this is a new, in the grand scheme of things, fairly new-ish friendship group. Right? They weren't hanging out like this before the Archon quest. Like, yeah, Sino and Tainari were clearly very close, and Alhaitham and Carve had the whole history, and they lived together and everything. So it's like, obviously, whether they liked it or not, they were also very close. But the 4 of them being together with Collei is obviously, again, Sino. I don't think, was Sino and Collei this close always? I don't remember. Like, I know he cared about her and everything. Was she a bit intimidated by him at first? I don't fully remember. But anyway, the 5 of them being like this very important friendship group is relatively new in the grand scheme of things. But clearly they still, you know what I mean, they're very important to each other and everything. I feel like when we first met Alhaitham, he would agree to just meeting up like this. But now here he is, and he's like having a conversation, and he's engaging, and he's like properly socializing with friends and stuff, and that he has friends to socialize with, and I feel like this has done him wonders for I'm wondering, is that why Alhaitham and Kaveh seem to be getting along a lot better nowadays? Is because they now have other people who they're also very close with? Because they are. I mean, like I said, Kaveh was really worried about Tainari in the desert. Kaveh, in his hangout again, had no problem being like, hey, what's that supposed to mean to the General Mahamatra, who's a very important person. Kaveh speaks to Sino in a way that not a lot of people would speak to him. So everything like that, they are clearly all important to each other. And it just feels like, I don't know, maybe at first, because it was just Alhaitham and Kaveh, and especially Alhaitham really didn't want to have interacted with that many people on this kind of level. Now he is. So now I'm wondering, is that having a positive outcome on his ability and his willingness and his enjoyment in socializing and talking to people and having chats and conversations and everything? It just seems like this whole group, all 5 of them together, they're affecting each other in such a way that like the 3 of them and the 2 of them perhaps didn't, but all 5 of them together, they're having such a good influence on each other. Does that make sense? See, like I said, comfort group. If Dia and Candice and Nilu were here, then it would be perfect. It would be even more perfect than it already is.
I need to go say thanks to the Core 30 for their help. Also, Sir Nephis says he wanted to introduce me to some of the Academia's work processes. So, I gotta dash too.
I'm so happy for Collei. Bye, Collei.
Collei's come a long way. She's much more confident at dealing with other people these days.
Yeah, I got that.
Everyone's a work in progress. You never stop learning.
Yeah, true.
Oh, that is so true. Oh, it's starting to get a bit hot again. I mean, it isn't. It's 17 degrees. I know that's so not hot to some people.
That was good. It feels like everything's finally wrapped up now. Life is all about these moments when you can finally relax and hang out with good friends after a job well done. And also, those desserts Sino got, they were really good. Paimon definitely needs more of those in the future.
Then let's come back again sometime. Absolutely.
Do you 3 have anything planned for the rest of the day?
No, absolutely not. Can we hang out?
Would you come somewhere with me?
Absolutely. Where are we going?
That's a secret for now. Wouldn't want to spoil the surprise.
Okay. I think I can guess where you're talking about. It'll definitely be a nice surprise.
Well, now Paimon's curious. Come on, let's go.
Go to the place Sino mentioned. Sino very specifically didn't mention a place. What place did Sino mention? And can I get there without teleporting? god, don't fall off, don't fall off, don't fall off. Ah. Oh, I thought I was gonna fall. Hi! Hi again. You doing alright?
Come to this.
Oh. I feel awful for poor Victor. I want a good ending for him before this game ends. See, at least they have like, at least they tried to have railings on the high things. Oh, I have hiccups now. Was that a tree? Are we on a tree? We're on a tree!
Been a while since I last made my way up here.
Oh, look at this place! We're so high up!
Need any help?
I'm actually a tree climbing champion.
As you wish.
I learned from Ayato.
What a great view! We're so high up, we can see for miles!
Traveler,
Yeah? Don't fall off, by the way.
turn around.
Oh my god, that's gorgeous. It's beautiful, that's what I said.
This is my secret base. Somewhere I only bring my best friends.
Oh, we're best
When I was
friends
a
with
student,
Sino.
I used to slip away and climb up here all the time, just to clear my head. I was quite young then, and hadn't made too many friends yet. Back then, I had a lot of the same questions that Sethos was asking. Who am I? Why do I have this power? And what should I be fighting for? Our gifts help us to find our rightful place in the world. That was my experience. And I'm sure Sethos will figure things out in his own time, too.
As long as Hermanubis' power endures, you will remain inextricably linked to the Temple of Silence.
You two really are like brothers.
I feel the same way.
You're one tough cookie, Sino.
Of course. I see no need to be humble when it comes to the facts.
I still remember one time when we came up here to chat and do our homework. Sino accidentally dropped a fruit. Luckily, he has fast reflexes, so he caught it just in time.
That was the one and only time. Nothing will ever slip through my fingers again.
Those were good times. I kinda miss the student life.
You know, Paimon really shouldn't be able to imagine Sino doing something like that, but for some strange reason, the mental image is coming through clear as day.
Then make it stop. There's somebody there.
Cyrus!
It's Professor Cyrus.
Hi.
You guys carry on without me. I'll be right back.
Okay.
And he just jumps off.
Hey, you're not supposed to jump down! Be careful!
God's sakes, I know. I mean, that's what I was gonna do, but that's different. I love moments like this where we have no choice but to walk somewhere as the character. I'll never forget the moment in the Archon quest where we have to just walk up slowly as Nilu before she does the dance. Like, there was no gameplay, it was just walking as her, but the atmosphere was incredible. Hi, Cyrus. Adu.
Oh my days. I can't believe how stupid I look in this one.
What one?
Professor, what are you muttering to yourself about?
Sino. Just the man I'm looking for. Guess what I found in some old notebooks?
Some old photos?
Can you believe it? This notebook was just sitting in a pile of odds and ends in the sage's office. I must have forgotten to take it with me, and no one's touched it since. It was still right there.
Oh my god, baby Sino! Oh! Oh, baby Sino's asleep.
I was at the Academia earlier to discuss my workload with Nephis. I swung by the old office to have a look around and just happened to cross it. Well, time flies. Look how tiny you are in this picture. Still a kid.
Just a baby.
You look quite young yourself in that one. Ah, it's this one. I remember that. Lisa took it, didn't she?
Yep. Looks like her work, all right. Who else could have found just the right angle to make me look so unbelievably hideous?
Wait, so did we just like gloss past the whole thing of that one like 16-year-old looking 30? I thought there was going to be some kind of that's such a weird detail to have if we're not going to talk about
And
it.
this one. Looks like we're both dozing off.
What one? Show me.
Oh, cheeky girl. Taking secret photos of us without our knowledge.
Is there something you'd like to say to me, Professor?
Like what? Like, these are good photos, aren't they? Hey, at moments like this, I hardly know where to begin. I can't pretend I'm a good person. Bamoon had every reason to despise me. And well, so do you if you feel the same way.
Oh, he doesn't.
Don't be ridiculous, you old codger.
Is that not what you wanted me to say? Oh, I've dreamt of that place many times after leaving the desert. Sometimes I've dreamed that I was doing research with them again. Other times, I dream of the day they saved my life. Oh, it was one of the happiest times of my life. We all learned so much from one another. You've matured so much over the years, I know.
Since you're my professor, I should save you some face by not calling you out on all the non-answers you just gave. So, I will do the right thing and keep my mouth shut.
Good thinking. Take your own advice next time. Seriously, why bully an old man like me? I thought heroes were supposed to be gracious. Hey, wait, how did I not notice this one earlier?
Lisa strikes again. Just how many did she take?
Look how cute you were when you were little. I remember how well-mannered you were back then, too.
Yeah, and look how serious and professional you used to be.
Oh, I can't compete with you anymore. First you get better than me at the deadpan jokes, and now you're besting me at those little quips, too.
Don't say that. I still have a lot of respect for you.
Huh, that's more like it. Hey, What would you say to meeting up with Lisa again sometime?
I'd like that. Let's find a time and pay her a visit in Mondstadt.
I'm gonna cry.
All right, I'll add it to my schedule. Let's go next week. Wait, no. Next week is the tomato growing competition. I have got to beat Zaha Hadid.
Or you could find a real hobby, Professor.
Oh my god. I don't even have anything to say. That was beautiful.
Time has passed too quickly. The children have all grown up. But it turns out grown-up kids are no use. When Nephis comes after me, Cyno still can't do anything to protect me. Oh, that boy.
Cyno's right there. What are you talking about? He's right there.
Great view today. This atmosphere calls for a joke out of left field, to catch the listener unawares.
Go on. Oh, okay. Hey, Cyno. Hey, Cyno. What did the sushi say to the bee?